High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
There you have it, those final strains. That means high school football is back on the air in the Treasure Valley and the state of Idaho and across this country. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Emmett, Idaho, situated in the Valley of Plenty, about 25 miles northwest of Boise. We've got listeners tonight throughout the country, and of course we know that there's a nice group listening both here in Emmett and in Blackfoot on the eastern side of the state. So Bronco fans, welcome. Husky fans, welcome. Dell and Chandler Gray here tonight for IdahoSports.com and for the Treasure Valley Game Night presented by Mountain West Bank at East Idaho Game Night presented by Teton Auto Group and D.L. Evans Bank. Tonight's meeting between a couple of teams that are highly regarded in the state in the 4A division. No more so than the Blackfoot Broncos, who come into this ball game ranked 4th in the country in the coaches and the conference, or I should say in the state, in the coaches 4A poll, and even higher in the media poll. In fact, right now, a lot of media folks think that Skyline and Blackfoot of that high country conference are probably 2 of the 3 best teams in the state at all divisions, and they may be the 2 best teams. And the Huskies, who have lost a lot from 2 straight trips to the playoffs as the Southern Idaho Conference champions, somewhat of a rebuilding year this year, Chandler.
Yeah, Dale, we have quite an interesting matchup going right now tonight. Obviously, Blackfoot coming in with last year's record of 6-6, which is extremely misleading because this Blackfoot team lost 5 games last year by only 1 point. Coming up just short so many times, ended up going out in the semifinals of the state playoff game. This is not a bad team, and not only that, it's a very experienced team. How many seniors do we got on this team?
On the first roster received today, they had 35 seniors, 1 junior and 1 sophomore. Now, there's a few more juniors and sophomores that'll work in as the roster develops. This has been an interesting day of football here in the Valley of Plenty as the freshman teams met at 4 o'clock over at the middle school, and the JV teams met here on this field. and that game went a little longer than anticipated. That's why we have a late start for this one. Kind of anticipated a 2-hour time window to complete a game wasn't probably going to work. The home team did prevail in both of the previous games played today. The Emmett freshmen defeated the Blackfoot freshmen 54-3, and the Emmett JV held on to defeat the Blackfoot's JV 34-24. Blackfoot scored twice and had 2-point conversions twice in the final 3 minutes of that ball game to make it a lot closer. We expect in this one, if you're an odds maker, you'd say Blackfoot probably maybe a 3-touchdown favorite, but they're on the road, so you'll soften that maybe a little bit. But for folks that are just trying to learn about these two teams, as we said, Blackfoot's lots of seniors. Emmett has some kids that have a lot of varsity experience, not necessarily as seniors. Some of them even got experience last year as sophomores and freshmen. They're going to start 7 seniors on each side of the ball, and they're going to have a couple of the juniors, and 2 sophomores are going to start on the defensive line. So those are going to be very big factors. A very young team. They are missing the 4A state player of the year last year, Caden Young, the quarterback who ran everywhere and is now practicing for their opening game tomorrow at the College of Idaho over in Caldwell. Though I think Caden may be redshirting this first year. We're not sure what's going on there, but we'll follow up on that. For this Blackfoot team, there's a number of kids in white uniforms out here on the field that have aspirations of playing at the next level, and that's exactly the difference between these two teams. When you see the preseason breakdowns from all these, quote, pundits, Emmett doesn't show up anywhere. They do show up in the latest coaches poll. There's about number 7 or 8, but in the media poll, they don't show up with receiving any votes at all, and yet they've kind of played the underdog for ever since Hargett got here 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story of the Huskies in general, is they've always been this underrated team coming into the season, and then they show up and they just outplay and just surprise everybody. This game is definitely a tale of 2 different stories. You have the Blackfoot coming in with a very experienced, very battle-hardened team, and then you have Emmett, obviously the very young team, but with a lot of strength and a lot of athleticism, a lot of natural. Talking to Hargett, he said he's got some sophomores on this team that are squatting close to 500 pounds and benching close to 300. So you've got a lot of muscle and athleticism, just not a ton of experience on this Huskies team.
And that may be a big difference. They're not physically large, but they do appear to be quite strong. Well, it's going to be a kickoff for Emmett, and back deep for Blackfoot to take that. It's going to bounce once, twice, picked up at the 10-yard line. I believe that's Austin Ramirez, and he's going to be swarmed at the 15 and pushed back. They're going to mark it with progress out to the 15-yard line, and that's exactly where the Broncos will get their first opportunity with the football. Starting offensive lineup for Blackfoot, as we said, they were 6-6 last year, made it to the semifinals. The Huskies were 7-2, and were ousted on their own field here in the first round of the playoffs last year. So both of them, a lot to prove. We'll talk about a little bit older history between these two clubs on this field in almost this very same position on the field 2 years ago in the quarterfinals for the state tournament. But we'll talk about that later. Quarterbacking, of course, that's Jason Grimmett calling signals, fakes the handoff, takes it inside to Austin Ramirez. He'll dive forward, will get 2, maybe 3 yards. Ramirez setting up in that backfield. Both these teams run a spread offense. Most of the time, one running back behind the quarterback. Occasionally, you'll see a slot receiver move back and team up in the backfield. But right now, it's just Grimmett and Ramirez behind the center. Collins signals. Huskies running a 3-4 defense. They're going to go downfield. There's the fire over the top, and they get the behind the man to Deegan Hale, of course. Hale, one of 2 wide receivers for Blackfoot that are highly touted as being able to play at the next level. And Hale got the separation he needed, and the pass from Grimmett was on the mark at the 50, and he's brought down at the 42. So a big pass play for the Broncos to get things started here in this cross-state 4A matchup.
And you'll see both these, they're already on the ball again, ready to go. You're going to see both of these offenses are very quick. They line up quick, and they keep going. So not a lot of stopping in between plays.
They're going to keep it rolling. That's usually an indicator of a spread offense as well. Grimmett rolls to his left. He's looking downfield, fires out in the flat, has his man, but it's knocked away. He got it right into the belly of Javante King, but he was defended there, making the stop for the Huskies, 21, Isaac Brennan, a junior. Let's set that lineup as the quarterback is Jackson Grimmett, the running back Austin Ramirez, the receivers out there, Javante King, Deegan Hale, and Caden Parsons for Blackfoot. Those are the three that are split out right now.
Parsons, the only junior on this starting offensive unit.
Up the check on the inside, who's in there tight. That's Capson, who's in at kind of a tight end position. Nice delay to Grimmett, and Grimmett keeps it. And he's going to get first down yardage down inside the 30-yard line. Little misdirection there, which the spread offense can certainly give you a lot of opportunities if you've got an experienced quarterback. And, of course, the Broncos do in Grimmett.
I mean, you said it exactly yourself. When it comes to this Blackfoot team, it's experience, experience, experience. That's what they're going to be running on all season long.
And trying to change some of the experiences of last year, as we've already talked about, the 1-point losses that were just heartbreakers. Grimmett fires a pass out to the intended receiver on the outside.
That's number 5. That's Deegan Hale.
So Hale went down for it, but the pass was a little short and defense was right there. So an incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10 coming up at the Husky 28-yard line. We're only 90 seconds into this football game, but the Broncos on the move. Hale split to the bottom of your screen. King to the top of your screen. King will get the square out pass. He'll take it for some yardage, but he's going to be repped down short of first down yardage. He'll get close to the 20. But nice little just spot pass out to the spread out wide receiver. That gave him a little bit of space. And King's one of those you don't want to play too tight on, because if he gets the ball and gets a step on you, he's gone.
That seems to be kind of the case with all of the Blackfoot receivers. They got a lot of quickness and a lot of great moves right at the line. You're going to be looking for them to be pulling away very quickly. So Emmett, if I was their coach, I'd be having them play off the line a little bit, give them a little bit of padding, a little bit of space.
Handoff goes inside. Nice delay to Austin Ramirez. He gets a little bit of room, and he's going to be very close to the first down. He needed to get down to about the 17 or the 18, and it looks like he's maybe a yard shy. Depends on where the official in the middle of the field isn't going to really matter, because we've got laundry to clean.
I was going to say, we have a holding call on the backside. Their backside tackle just hooked the end just a little bit too much on the end there.
Those are the ones that you just grimaced because the play went the other direction.
Right, yeah. One of those almost unnecessary blocks.
But then sometimes if you don't get that, he doesn't get across the field with the switch either. So that'll back it up a little bit, and that'll make it 3rd down. And now about 13, 14 yards. You've got to get it just inside the 18-yard line, and we got the pigskin right now at the 32.
3rd and long, look for an out on the outside, either to number 5, Hale, or King.
Capson's moved into the slot to the right side, firing deep. They're looking down to King. He's got space. He had a little bit of room, but the ball is overthrown at the goal line. Defense was playing just enough prevent in front that it kind of gave you, well, can he get back at this? And he didn't. King wasn't able to race under it. So that'll bring up 4th down, and 4th and 14 at the 31, 32-yard line.
It's an interesting spot. Do you punt it? We don't know. The kicker obviously is kind of a question mark. He's new to the school this year, so.
Yeah, we've talked about him. He would be, and that would be a very long field goal for a high school kicker anyway. So it looks like they're going to do the punting, and it looks like Court Capson's going to step back to do those duties.
Nobody in the backfield for Emmett to receive this punt. It looks like they're just hoping for a touchback.
That or believing this could be a faked. And Courtson is going to fake it. He comes out to the near side, completes the pass, but it is short of even the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
It'll go out of bounds right about the 31-yard line as he got the pass off to Javante King. So the ball is going to go over on downs to the Huskies. So Emmett Obviously not going to bite for the deep punt return. They figured we either get it late or it goes into the end zone, and they were right there on the spot.
I was going to say, what a great heads-up coaching right there, just recognizing that it's in a weird spot and a possible fake could happen. The defense responded perfectly, and no issues there.
So the Huskies come out for their first offensive possession of the 2022 season. And the handoff from the new quarterback to the experienced running back, Rye Fullerton, breaks the tackle, leads across the 40, out to the 45, the 50, and down to the 43-yard line. Rye Fullerton breaking it right off left tackle, and with a big gainer, picks up 25 yards on the first handoff of the ball game.
Yeah, you got to keep your eye on Fullerton. He's going to be kind of the meat and potatoes of this offense. He'll be receiving a majority of the handoffs, and honestly, this is a running Emmett team. They have a big offensive line, though young, very strong, very athletic, and they can move those defensive linemen. So look for that a lot.
Yeah, and we use the term big, and that's not really fair because you're looking down the line, and it looks like they give up about 20 pounds a man or more, but they're a very physically fit group. Handoff goes to the second man through, and that's coming forward, Joe Loomis. Loomis, who starts at linebacker, gets a carry here early out of the fullback as Fullerton got a quick breather after the quick run. And Loomis will pick up about 4 yards. Loomis, a senior, second year with the program, a transfer out of California a year ago. Made himself quite a spot on the linebacking core. Tight formation for the Huskies right now behind the quarterback, Dakota Perry. And Perry's going to keep it and just drive straight forward. He'll get another 3 yards, it looks like, out down to about the 36-yard line. So we'll call it third down and a long 3 coming up for the Huskies. And we have a man on the field for Blackfoot. Slow to get up, and we cannot quite read the number as he's down there. And the Huskies will kneel to the near side and get a little bit of water. It is a hot evening here in the Treasure Valley. Not as hot as it would have been a week ago, but certainly hotter. They're projecting a high tomorrow in the 80s, and we've set a record in the Treasure Valley for the number of 100-degree days this summer. The officially hottest summer on record, and that comes after nearly a record number of heat last year. That looks like number 56, is it? I'm kind of dyslexic, and the number's upside down on us here.
I'm seeing 56, but I don't see a 56.
We don't have a 56 on the roster, that's right.
So,
and we were told the roster that we got was not complete, as we've had to add a couple, including their kicker, Josiah Ballesteros, and a strong safety, Kylan Guerra, were added to our roster, so we'll try not to miss them in the flow. And and there's no 66. I don't see any big numbers that end in 6, so we're not sure who that injured player is. Definitely a lineman for the Broncos. We're holding it right here. If you just joined us, we're about 4 minutes into this one. The Broncos, with one big pass play, got into scoring position, but were turned away, gave it up on downs at about the 30-yard line. And the Huskies, with 3 running plays, have gone from their own 30 down to the Blackfoot 36, where they're going to be facing 3rd and 3 coming up here in just a moment. It is 66. That is the number on the uniform, and it's a number that is not in the roster program we received. So we're not sure. We'll do some checking and see if we can get that corrected. But as we said, definitely a lineman, and he's getting up, and he's going to be helped off, and looks like it's that right knee or ankle.
Yeah, that was our inside tackle on the defense. Once again, don't know the name. Right now, we kind of have a tale of 2 different offenses right now. We've got Blackfoot running that very spread, air it out sort of an offense, whereas Emmett seems to obviously running the double fullback, single back. Very much the get down in the trenches dirty, we're just going to run you over look.
Right, which is a little bit kind of the opposite of what I expected, though I expected Blackfoot to throw the football. They've got 2 very, very talented receivers. Actually, they've got probably 6 or 7 of them, but 2 of them of particular note coming into the season. And Huskies with a quarterback who is actually seen, he has had some some varsity action as a backup behind Young last year in games that were decided early, but he was the JV quarterback a year ago. And Dakota Perry's going to fire it out into the flat, gets it to his receiver, who's hit at the line of scrimmage and spins. I think he got forward for first down yardage. That was a completion to Stevie Howe.
I think they're marking him just short of that first down line.
It'll be...
Yep, just short. It's going to be a fourth down and about, 6 inches at
Okay,
most.
so we're exact situation about almost that we had at the other end of the field, except that was 4th and 14. And Blackfoot went for it, came up short. Emmett's faced with a 4th and 1 at their own 33-yard line. Let's see what they do with it here. Perry behind the back. Gives it up to Fullerton. He's got big yardage over the right side. First down yardage, no problem. You do not stop Ry Fullerton on the first hit.
No, he's very strong, powerful back who does not go down. You have to wrap him up low and hold on for dear life if you want to pull down Fullerton.
Well, he gets about 7 yards out of that, and it's a 1st and goal for the Emmett Huskies, their second of the night. And with 7:20 to go here in the first quarter, Emmett seeing if they can get on the board first in their season opener. They are the 2-time defending Southern Idaho Conference champions in the 4A division, which is a first for the school. They had never won a 4A conference championship prior to the last 2 years. Fullerton with the handoff again, slides, finds a little bit of a hole, and scoots through for about 4.
Running very aggressive today. I mean,
Aggressive,
you had 4 or 5
patient.
defensive guys hit him and wrap him up there, and he still got 4 yards.
Yeah, it's just kind of the rope-a-dope. I'll take a couple and wait here till I get my feet back under me and then go forward. Perry coming in late, the quarterback, getting apparently some instructions from Coach Hargett on the near sideline. Has nobody, well, he does have a man in front of him. This looks like it could be a pass play. No, it's a handoff. That'll be the 21, Isaac Brennan, and Brennan will be very close to the first down. It looks like he's going to be inside the 16. Can't tell exactly where the markers are on the far side. I think he may be just shy. Isaac Brennan is a slot receiver. He's a kick returner. He's a pass receiver. He's a junior, great athlete, great speed, and he was 1 yard short. So 3rd and 1 coming up for the Huskies, and the handoff is fumbled.
I believe it's a direct snap to the
direct
fullback.
I hadn't seen that one. So the fullback, Brennan, comes across, gets the direct snap, but he falls on it and loses 3 yards. So another 4th down situation coming up for the Huskies, this time 4th and a long 3.
Yeah, this Husky offense it's different. It's just got a different flow to it, and we're seeing a lot of different looks. Now all of a sudden you've got a spread with 4 outs and 1 back.
And Brennan goes out to the slot now, or after almost a tight end position with only Fullerton in the backfield. Dakota Perry rolls out, fires it out to Brennan, who out of the slot's going to take it in for the touchdown. 19 yards, Dakota Perry to Isaac Brennan. And we talked about Swiss Army knife Brennan. He comes through with 5:17 to go in the first quarter. It's Brennan from 19 yards from Perry.
Yeah, once again, this Emmett offense just giving so many different offensive lineups and formations that the defense is constantly having to adapt. And when that happens, you lose players.
Yeah, and that was a 4th and 3 play, too. So they're 2 for 2 on 4th down in this one. And that helps run the clock, too. Snap is down, and it's going to be blocked, the extra point attempt.
Fantastic block by number 10, Tyler Johnson, getting in there, the sophomore, getting a hand on that ball as it gets kicked.
So the kick is blocked, and it will remain a 6-0 lead for the Huskies of Emmett as they grab the first score in this football game. This ball game being brought to you on IdahoSports.com in part by local sponsors throughout the state. In the Blackfoot area, Lava Hot Springs, Conquest Insurance Agency, Cushman Drilling and Pump, and Emmett supporters Hannigan Auto Sales, Mountain West Building Supply, and Gem Supply Co-op in Emmett. Some of the local sponsors helping to make these broadcasts free and available to you here on IdahoSports.com. All of our broadcasts also brought to you by our major sponsors, Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealer. The kickoff is taken deep, or I should say upfield by I thought that was number 6.
Nope, number 8.
Number 8, okay, because I had no 6
That's
on
Preston
here.
Aubrey.
Preston Aubrey gets about an 8-yard return, and Blackfoot's going to have nice starting position for their second possession right at the 40-yard line in their own territory. Again, it was pretty much the pass play that took them down the field, and most of it on the one pass play to King. So let's see what quarterback Grimmett targets here. Splitting out to the left side is Caden Parsons, and at the bottom of the screen is Deegan Hale.
Court Capson in formation.
And then rotates, and the handoff inside. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage is Ramirez, but he's going to get away to at least get some positive yardage out to about the 42. The interior linebacking core for Emmett responding well to the fake to the outside and staying with the running back. Looking to see where King is. Now he's back out there. He's split out to the top of your screen. Javante King, the senior, 3-star rating in the college ranks. Back to pass, Grimmett over the middle, gets it there, gets it into the sure hands of Deegan Hale, who's going to make the completion, and he's going to get, I believe, the first down, but it won't be by much. He gets it right to the 50-yard line. It touches the chalk. That's what he had to do. So 1st and 10 for Blackfoot, the third first down of the ball game.
Great job holding on to that ball. Kalen Conklin came in, gave him a good hit while he was still in the air with the ball, but he held on and got that first down.
Senior grip. Senior first down. Looking to give out his signals to his wide. This is a little different. When Blackfoot goes to the huddle, the receivers don't come in.
Yeah.
They get hand signals from Grimmett as to what he wants them to do. So he's got split receivers, 2 to the top of your screen, 2 to the bottom of your screen. And again, Grimmett back to pass, looking downfield. Emmett trying to get some pressure on him, going to chase him out of the pocket. He's going to fire it out to the near side. His defender falls down, and coming back for the ball is Deegan Hale. He has first down yardage inside the 20 down to the 15. It looked like that could have been possibly an interception, but Hale made a great move to get his defender to fall. And as he did, then he was able to get that ball and take off with it.
Yeah, Daniel Walker for Emmett was able to wrap him up. Could have been much worse. He had some daylight ahead of him if he didn't get that shoestring tackle.
So they're going to mark it at the 16-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10. Second first down of this possession for the Broncos. And again, almost entirely by air.
Short run there by Austin Ramirez.
Ramirez gets 2 yards out of that, and that'll move him right at the 20. Oh, actually, they're going to give him almost 3 because they've got that ball placed at about the 14-yard line. 2:46 remaining here in the first quarter. Emmett with a 6-0 lead on Blackfoot. Blackfoot defensively has been stout traditionally over the years, and they have been stout on this field over the last, the last time they were here, but this time it's the Husky defense getting stout and dropping the running back Austin Ramirez for a loss back to about the 21-yard line. So nearly the original line of scrimmage. We'll call it 3rd down and a long 9 coming up for the Broncos.
Broncos trying to get that running game going, but it just the Huskies are just so strong in that interior line, and that their backs are just so powerful. You're just not going to get a lot of room. So see them, watch for them go back to the throw this play, and possibly an out to King.
Little fake inside and back. Grimmett's going to roll to the left side. He's looking for the end zone. King's down there in the corner trying to get free. Grimmett's going to have to run out of bounds. as King just simply went to the pylon at the goal line, and he was being covered there, just draped all over him. Number 18 for the Huskies, that is Stevie Howe. And Howe, who also plays a little shortstop, and everything else kind of just set up like he was in the box and he was defending, and didn't give King any real space or any target for Grimmett to throw to. So it's 4th down after a 4-yard gain by Grimmett. We'll call it 4th and 6 at about the 12-yard line. So the Broncos facing their second 4th down situation here of the first quarter. Let's see what they can do with 1:46 to go here in this period of play. Grimmett again, back to pass. He's airing this one out deep to the corner, and is it caught or is it juggled? It is caught. Touchdown, King. King looked like he had it in his hands, but he was sort of juggling it as he went out of bounds on the sideline. But they're going to call that a 12-yard touchdown pass, Grimmett to King.
Yeah, King barely got a hold of it right there as he was about to go out of bounds. Got that last foot in high school football, as of course you only need 1 foot in bounds with possession. So he got it, held on to it, and that's going to tie it up now for the extra point.
Well, now the extra point is going to be on the toe of Josiah Ballesteros, who just joined the team this year. In fact, I think just joined the team in the last few days as a kicker. And his kick is on his way. It looks perfect, and it is. So Blackfoot has taken the lead on the kick by Ballesteros with 1:40 to go here in the first quarter of play. It is Blackfoot 7 and Emmett 6. Lava Hot Springs, Idaho is your destination for a fun or relaxing day, whichever you choose. Just 11 miles off of I-15. Their world-famous hot springs are open daily from 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The all-natural geothermal hot springs are always a warm 102 to 112 degrees. Good, we could go cool down today. Come and soak your worries away. Their outdoor Olympic swimming complex with water slides, diving boards, platforms, and amphitheater. Indoor aquatic center with Kitty Cove is open until September 5th, Labor Day weekend. So this is the weekend and next week to get out there. Come splash and play before they close for the summer season. Indoor pool is open year-round, so check out LavaHotSprings.com for more information. Ballesteros to kick it off again for Blackfoot. Actually, this will be his first kickoff, come to think of it.
Yeah.
Because this is after the first score, and Emmett had the kickoff that started the football game. So Ballesteros to kick it off. Back deep for the Huskies. I think we're going to have Joe Loomis and Isaac Brennan, and Loomis is going to pick it up at the 20. He's to the 30. He's to the 35, the 40, the 45, the 50, and he's going to be drugged down in Bronco territory at the 45-yard line. The linebacker comes up as a kick returner and gets a 50-yard return all the way out to the 47-yard line of Blackfoot.
Yeah, Loomis, he looked like he was running just so nonchalantly and then just turned it on. And I didn't think Blackfoot was expecting it. He just burst through that line, and good thing they caught him when they did. Otherwise, he would have been off to the races.
Well, they found I don't know if he has blinding speed, but he has obviously a second gear that he got into. And strong runner. So the Huskies with their second offensive possession of the ball game. Handoff goes to Fullerton, who goes straight forward for a couple of yards. He'll get down to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I don't really know what to call this offensive formation from Emmett. It's kind of a tight punch. You've got the fullback lining up almost directly behind the offensive line, and then the back out about 5-6 yards back.
And strangely enough, because Hargett is such a proponent of a spread offense, but he has all kinds of forms of that spread. Handoff goes inside. Blackfoot doing a good job on Fullerton this time, and they stop him short of the line of scrimmage. He'll be stopped for a loss. That handoff didn't fool anybody, and so far the Huskies' only passing game that they've shown has been a little play action out to the right side, and that was a scoring touchdown to Isaac Brennan. Other than that, it's been pretty much, 3 yards in a cloud of grass and dust. Fullerton again, lone backfield along with the quarterback, Perry. Perry gets the snap. Now he drops back in the pocket, fires it off. It's tipped at the line of scrimmage, and unable to come up with it out there in the flat was number 16. That was Logan Curtis, I believe. No, that's 18. That was Stevie Howe.
Yeah, Trayden Henderson getting up off the corner there, off the end of the line, just got great penetration off the edge and got his hands up just like you're supposed to and got just a couple fingers on that ball, but it was enough to knock it out of the way.
Howe actually had a little space out there if the ball could have had a little loft and got over that defender, but did not. And now the Huskies look like they're going to be punting for the first time as they have it 4th and long at the Blackfoot 46-yard line, and the punt is going to roll dead at the 15.
Yeah, King was back to return that, but just decided, you know what, it's not worth it.
It was kind of it wasn't really a high punt, but it was a slow punt.
More of a pooch punt, really.
Yeah,
yeah.
It just kind of pooched up there and went to the left side of the field. There were plenty of blue shirts there, so I think a smart decision for Javante King to wait on that. Now let's see if Grimmett goes back to the airways where he has been deadly here in this first half. And, of course, he's got 2 great receivers. He's got more than that, but King and Hale are certainly a combination split right and left that, and again, they don't even bother to come back to the huddle there. You know, King's out there tending a crop on the left 40 and just waiting for the rest of the team to get to the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
I don't know if these are new this year, but Blackfoot rocking the two-tone double-sided helmets. They got white on one side and black on the other. A very interesting look for this team.
Yeah, psychologically, you call that bipolar? I'm not sure, but it works and it rocks. You're right. Depends on which direction you're looking at them from, what their helmet looks like. That kind of confused me as a defender, I think.
Yeah, you don't know whether they're the home team or the away team at times.
Yeah, how do we turn it? Well, they're white and black and green, not blue, so that should be simple here today.
We got about 10 seconds left in this first quarter, so probably one more play left.
Not sure what the officials are holding up play for.
Yeah.
He's walking over to the far side to talk with Coach Jared Ackley. So I'm not sure what the conversation is about. Is there some discussion about the fact that King was not? I don't know that there's any rule you have to be in the huddle.
Not sure. The conversation almost seems to be about the time, the game clock maybe?
I don't know. Whatever it is, it looks like we have 10 seconds remaining on the first quarter clock. And we're going to have a personal foul.
Not sure which team.
That hasn't been indicated.
Well, and they're going to talk some more.
Yeah, that's, well, they aren't marching anything off now. The ball didn't move anywhere. He indicated what appeared to be a personal foul, but we see nothing being marched off. So I don't know if it was a warning of some type maybe that was issued.
Must be.
That was an interesting call. Pass out to the outside to Hale, and Hale's going to get first down yardage. Let's see no.
They're going to mark him just short.
Yep. They're going to mark it out at the 24-yard line. Looked like he might have been spun forward, but he spun out of bounds at the 24-yard line. And that was on first down, so it was a 9-yard pickup before Callan Conklin made the stop. That does it for the end of the first quarter here. We have completed one quarter of play. The score here, Blackfoot 7 and Emmett 6. Hannigan Auto Sales has been locally owned and operated for nearly 100 years here in Emmett. And you don't stick around that long unless you treat every customer who walks onto the lot as family. Hannigan Auto Sales and Service is a full-service dealer that can take care of everything before, during, and after the sale. In-house financing, full-service auto detailing, and a repair shop run by the best vehicle experts around. You won't find a better buy or service for your next used car, truck, or SUV than Hannigan Auto Sales and Service, Washington Avenue in Emmett. Give them a call at 365-5050. Conquest Insurance Agency has been servicing your insurance needs for years. They are built on the principles of providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for their customers. As an independent agent, they work with select insurance companies that have proven their performance over the years. Conquest Insurance Agency is dedicated to getting you the best insurance products and services available to protect you, your family, and your business. Located at 144 West Bridge in Blackfoot, or give them a call at 208-785-0760. Proud supporters of the Blackfoot Broncos. And right now, the Broncos have the football deep in their own territory, but not severely deep. They're at their own 30.
That would be the
24-yard line. That's right. But it is only 2nd down and 1. So they're still in good operating position and a lot of options out of this offensive set for quarterback Grimmett. Grimmett hands it off, a little give and go inside, picking it up and bringing it across is number 20.
No, number 2.
Number
Court
2,
Capson.
that was Court Capson. He came back out of the slot and picked that up and then took it to the right. Not quite what you call a reverse receiver sweep, but just a motion play. And he's not only gets the first down, but he does it by getting nearly 10 yards. All the way out to the 38-yard line.
Now you're going to have Blackfoot lining up with 3 wideouts to your close side, only 1 to the far side, so very spread bunch. Look for a possible screen down here just in front of you.
Hale will be at the top. The handoff's going to go inside. They're trying to get some opening space for Austin Ramirez, and he's going to get a little bit of yardage this time before he stops short of the first down. He'll get forward for about 7, maybe 8 yards. And right now, because they've been so effective with that receiver game, they're using that as the decoy to try to soften up the middle of that Emmett defense.
Yeah, this offense just trying to create some options, trying to give themselves some leeway to make some different choices. That's kind of one thing you don't want is that one-dimensional offense. You want to be able to throw it, run it, do the screen, whatever you need.
You at least have to be a threat on every play so that the defenders have to think about what's coming. And that's what Grimmett's got him thinking. He has Capson in motion again. Grimmett back to pass, looking deep. He's going to let loose of it. He fires it down, and it's going to be knocked away. Great defensive effort by Stevie Howe. He stayed right in front of Deegan Hale all the way. Howe stands in at about 6'1", so he's one of the taller defenders for the Huskies, and that was a big factor on that. The pass was there, but so was Howe.
Yeah, Howe, one of our Husky players that's playing both ways tonight, doing a fantastic job, not looking too tired, but right on him that entire way. Didn't really give him any space.
You mentioned the two-way players. Officially, there's only one on the Blackfoot team that's playing both directions, though there will be others who will certainly see action on both sides. Huskies, I believe, have 5 of their offensive starters that also start on defense. Could be a factor as the game wears on, that's certain. Handoff inside goes to Austin Ramirez, and he's going to get first down yardage. Looked like he might be stopped short, but he does a little juke to the left, dives forward, gets it into Emmett territory, though the official's going to back it up and say, nope, we're going to put it right here on that 50-yard line, Chuck.
Loomis on the tackle there was able to wrap him up before he got too much daylight ahead of him.
So Blackfoot moving with the football here early in the second quarter. Blackfoot with a 7-6 lead on Emmett. Grimmett, quick fire out to the near side to King. He's going to be wrapped up. He's still trying to get out with those long legs, and it takes 3 more Huskies to pull him down short of first down yardage, but about an 8-yard pickup. Great defensive effort there by the Huskies. Loomis was in there, and then Rye Fullerton coming up to make the final stop. But it looked like King was going to be stopped for maybe a 4 or 5 yard gain, and he just stretched his way out of it.
Fullerton coming out of the game just a little bit, try to take a breath. He's also one of those players. Oh, wait, no, that's Quentin Smith that came out. Sorry. Both of those players playing both ways.
The linebackers and in the offensive skill spots as well. Grimmett with Ramirez set to his left. Receivers 3 to the top of the screen. Handoff goes inside, and no, it's a faked handoff, and nobody bid on it. And coming up with the tackle of the quarterback, Grimmett, was Brady Dillon. Dillon makes the stop for a loss of about a yard. That'll bring up 3rd down and 2. So second in very short yardage. The Huskies hold.
Dillon right there on that interior line just got some great separation, was able to plow through those big offensive linemen from Blackfoot and was able to wrap them up in the backfield to save that first down.
trips to the top of the screen, and King coming to the bottom of your screen. Split to the left from the quarterback. Grimmett looks to King, fires it over to the near side. King cut in. Grimmett went out.
Yeah.
I think a misconnection on what the cut was going to be.
Little bit of a miscommunication there. King definitely thought that was a cut in and was kind of putting his hands up going, what the heck, man?
And Grimmett was looking for the button hook outside, going to the back shoulder, and it didn't work. So it's 4th down and 1. This will be the third 4th down situation that Blackfoot has faced now in the ball game. They failed on the first, they converted on the second and scored.
So what you're saying is this could go anyway?
It's a 50-50 opposition, yeah. Or as Lloyd Christmas says, you think I got a chance? Handoff inside, and Austin's going to make it work. Austin Ramirez gets first down yardage inside the 40, inside the 30, breaks the tackle inside the 20. He's finally going to be brought down. On the final stop for the Huskies, number 15, that is Dakota Perry. The quarterback also playing in a defensive back position in that situation. And a big 20-yard pickup for Ramirez, biggest run play of the night for the Broncos. And all of a sudden, instead of 4th and maybe having to turn it over again, they're threatening. They're in the red zone for the 3rd time tonight, inside the 20 at the 17.
Great run by Ramirez. Very patient, not trying to run over anybody, just taking his time and picking his way down the field. Great vision.
Preston Aubrey in motion, but the ball's going to go to Ramirez straight ahead. He'll get a couple of yards down to the 15. Maybe playing a little more conservative here. And, of course, passing games become a little bit more constricted when you're inside the red zone. You don't have quite the space to get the separation, especially if you have tall or wide receivers. That's what they'll be looking for here on 2nd down. And, well, looks like we got a problem with the marker on the far side of the field.
I would say 2nd down and about 6.
I think you're maybe a little bit generous, but we'll call that 2nd and 6. Maybe a long 6. And they're still trying to untangle somehow the down marker at the bottom. It's apparently just the stake at the bottom of it that was loose. Now they've got it there. Grimmett gets the snap. He's looking downfield, coming across the field. He's got a man there. The ball is knocked into the air and nearly picked off. Great defensive play again by Stevie Howe, as Howe has really been covering Hale like a glove since that first opening possession.
He's been all over him, and he's not letting him get any space. You see a lot of these Emmett backs are giving some space, but Howe, no worry about confidence in his eyes. He's just right there with him all the time.
Staying on the inside, which is that's confidence, because with that kind of speed, he can get behind you and you're gone. But it'll bring up 3rd down and 6, we'll call it 3rd and 7, because they've now marked it right at the 15-yard line. So 3rd and 7 for the Broncos. 6:59 remaining here in the first half. Blackfoot with a 7-6 lead on the homestanding Huskies of Emmett. Grimmett with Ramirez to his side, gets the snap, looks downfield, fires it out into the flat, gets it to King, and King's going to get 1st down yardage at about the 6. Nice outplay.
Yeah,
King had size and stretch, and he certainly had the position, took his man in, then turned out this time, and the pass was right there for the completion. And it's 1st and goal for Blackfoot with 6:52 to go here in the first half. We don't have any statistics, or what do we call those, biometrics on any of these ball players.
No.
But King has good size. I would imagine he must be 6'2 or 6'3 and has long legs, long arms, and he's a formidable target to fire to. They're going to fire to King in the end zone. He reaches up and one hands the grab for the touchdown. He just reaches up and picks that one out of the air away from Dakota Perry, and King has his 2nd receiving touchdown of the ball game. This one coming from just 6 yards out.
Yeah, King's got about 4 inches on Perry, so whenever you're coming into a situation where it's just kind of a jump ball, King's going to win a lot of those because he's just got that extra height on him.
And even in that situation, the pass was where Perry could possibly do something with it, but King kind of tipped it to himself and grabbed it with the offhand and won hands at home for the score. And Josiah Ballesteros is in to try to make this an 8-point lead. Let's see who's kneeling down. Is that the quarterback Grimmett to hold? He does. The kick is up. The kick is good, it looks like. Driven hard through there. And as we go with 6:31 remaining here in the first half, Blackfoot, after trailing early 6-0, has taken a 14-6 lead over the Emmett Huskies here midway through this second quarter of action. Cushman Drilling and Pump in Blackfoot has been providing well drilling and well pump services in eastern Idaho for over 4 generations. With their superior customer service, quality workmanship, 24-hour service, and free estimates, you can't go wrong with Cushman Drilling and Pump. Call them today at 208-785-1588 or check them out online at cushmanwelldrilling.net. Gem Supply and Co-op in Emmett, the helpful place for all your building and hardware needs. They offer friendly, knowledgeable personal service, quality products, and a convenient shopping experience from local experts who know you best, and they also know their ACE Supply products. Visit them at 402 North Washington Avenue in Emmett. They're open 7 days a week. Gem Supply and Co-op wants to wish the Emmett boys the best of luck in the game tonight. Go Huskies, and the Huskies are going to get an opportunity possibly here to go offensively as they're dropping back to receive the second kick of the night from Ballesteros. Let's see, Loomis and Brennan are back deep, and the ball's going to be taken up by the up back, and that is Stevie Howe, who grabs it at the 30, and he'll be taken down at about the 38-yard line.
Howe definitely getting his work cut out for him today. He's been all over the field.
So he's kick return, we've had a pass reception, and he's had some big pass defenses. But right now it's the offense for Emmett that they need to see if they can get on the board again before halftime and close this margin down or even possibly tie it up. Quarterbacking for the Huskies is Dakota Perry. Running back is Rye Fullerton. Isaac Brennan is in the slot. Split out to the outside is Stevie Howe. Howe's going downfield. He gets behind the defender, but he's overthrown. Howe made a great remove on the defender, but Perry missed him by a couple of yards. He had nothing but daylight and dirt in front of him.
Yeah, he beat both Deegan Hale and Nick Walker were back there, but they just were on the different pages. One was thinking he had under coverage, and so did the other, so that could have been dangerous, but just overthrown by just a hair.
First real downfield throw we've seen from the Huskies tonight. Pitch goes outside to Rye Fullerton. He's going to get to the 40, cuts back up to the 45, up to the 46, 47. He's got first down yardage. So on 2nd and 10, Fullerton takes the pitch, gets 11 yards, and the Huskies nearing midfield as the clock nears the 6-minute mark here in the first half.
Blackfoot seeming to really stack the box right now. They've got 9 guys piled in there, or 8 guys piled in there right now with only 2 outs. So
well, that's where Emmett had been attacking, was between the blocks, and now they're showing a little bit different formation, a little more spread. Handoff goes straight ahead to Loomis, and he's not going to get anywhere. They thought they might have had enough blocking backs for him, but the defense for Blackfoot making a solid stop, including a big stop by number 95 Tegan Wixom. 2nd and 11 on the loss.
Yeah, this big defensive line, they got size to spare. All of them over the top of these smaller Huskies.
The only exception to that might be the center. He's not tall, but he's got more width than the Emmett center does, that's for sure. Snap is high. It'll be taken. Loomis will get it on the handoff, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage. But Emmett not finding any of that running room inside. They kind of went with the idea, well, we got a couple outside shots at him. Let's go back to the inside. But Blackfoot not transitioning their defense. They're still trying to stop down that middle game where Emmett was effective early in this game. High snap again to Perry. Perry gets it out to the near side to Brennan, and Brennan breaks the tackle at the 40. He's to the 30, down inside the 25 to the 22-yard line. So Isaac Brennan, the scatterbug Swiss Army knife, picks up 25 yards. He has it all the way down to the 22-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Emmett with 4:40 remaining here in the first half of this football game.
Great run, great visibility. Good job keeping his feet in bounds when he's on the edge of the field. A great play.
A lot of power inside for blocking on Loomis, but doesn't much good as coming straight through and busting that up, number 63. That I believe
that was number 8, Preston Aubrey.
Oh, Preston Aubrey in there. Thought we had
the middle linebacker rushing right up the gut.
We got another number there. There is a 63 out there, but not on our roster. So,
unfortunately, our Blackfoot roster is missing some.
Well, it's
holes.
early in the year. You know, school's only been in session for a few days, and it takes a while to get all that stuff together, and it could totally change by next week for most of these teams. So on 2nd down and 10, Perry with the handoff to Loomis straight ahead. He'll get a couple of yards inside the 20, but no more than that. Huskies again playing it pretty close to the vest right now. And this is one of those where the last thing you want to do is throw away a scoring opportunity, but you also don't want it to just wither and die.
Exactly. And with 3.5 minutes left in the quarter, you also don't want to score too quickly. You don't want to give Blackfoot another chance at the ball.
I think you're more worried about just scoring, not the timing of it at this point. But there is some juncture to that. And coming out of the ball game, or at least coming to the near side, 21 for the Huskies, that's Brennan. So Brennan's coming out. That changes the lineup. Into the slot moves Callan Conklin, it looks like. Snap back to Perry. He's got receivers coming in. Now he scatters out of the pocket. He's going to run with it. He's going to take it to the left side. He's got a 1st down yardage inside the 10 to the 5. He'll be knocked out of bounds hard. But Dakota Perry, not quite those long strides we've been used to out of Caden Young the last couple of years, but impressive scramble when it looked like he might have been taking a loss.
It was some great pocket presence there. He definitely felt that defensive end coming at him on his backside and was able to step into the pocket and find some space there. You know, still that young quarterback willing to take the hit instead of run out of bounds, but a great play.
Handoff goes to Fullerton. No, Perry's going to keep it and waltz in for the touchdown. 5-yard keeper for Dakota Perry. He put him in position, and he's going to get the score himself. So with 2:40 to go here in the first half, let's see if the Huskies go for 2 to try to tie this one up. Their first kick attempt was poorly blocked.
Looks like they're going to line up to kick again. Dakota Perry back to hold.
And the kick is up, and the kick is
good.
Good. So this time it was low, but it was good. And the Huskies have pulled within 1 with 2:40 to go here in the first half. After the extra point kick splits the uprights. Mountain West Building Supply has everything that you need for your next project. You know, whether you're a professional contractor or a do-it-yourself home fixer-upper, it's all available at Mountain West Building Supply. Lumber, paint, hardware, and more can be found. Located just 2 miles west of Emmett on Highway 55. They've got a big supply of those pre-built wooden sheds right now ready to deliver so you can put away all that stuff before the snow flies. Yes, it's likely it may sometime soon, hopefully. Proud supporters of everything Husky Blue, Mountain West Building Supply. Give them a call, 365-7580. They deliver. And ready to kick it off for the Huskies. Towing it up at the 40-yard line. Christian Aragon.
Yeah, the sophomore.
Is going to be doing the kicking duties here. Gets a kick that'll be taken back at about the 17, 18-yard line. And that is Austin Ramirez bringing it up. He'll get it to the 30, but no further, as a trio of Huskies are there to make the stop. Brian Walker leading the way. So, with 2 minutes and 33 seconds to go, the question is, can Blackfoot score quick again? Or will they be sitting back and just wanting to take the lead into halftime and not allow Emmett to have an opportunity to score again?
I think you want points on the board. I don't think you care how you get them.
You want points, but you also, this is not the stage of the game you want to commit the turnover that changes momentum. Grimmett counting signals. He's going to roll to his right. Continues to roll, fires downfield, gets it to the hands to number 5. That, of course, is Deegan Hale. Hale with his first reception for a while. He'll be picking up 6 yards as he went out. Excuse me, they're going to mark it all the way out to the 42-yard line, so it's a first down. I was 5 yards back in my marker. So instead of the 30, they're now at the 42, 1st and 10, and very little, if anything, ran off the clock. 2:26 to go. Looks like a 2-minute offense coming into this ball game for Jackson Grimmett right now.
Yeah, the Broncos definitely want to lead going into this half of more than 1 point. They, as we said last year, losing 5 games by 1 point, they're not comfortable with a 1-point lead.
No, you don't want to ever leave things in doubt going down the stretch, because anything can happen, as we haven't talked about, but that happened here 2 years ago. Grimmett back to pass, rolling out. He's being chased. Loops up a pass over the top. It's reaching up and pulling it down is number 25. That is Caden Parsons. And are they going to call it a complete pass?
They are going to say he caught that. I thought that was out of bounds, but I guess they're saying that he did get a foot down.
And of course, if he was pushed out entirely, I'm not sure. But it was tight on the side, but it'll give him 9 yards. And that also stops the clock with 2:16 to go. So they've only used 11 seconds. They've moved 20 yards down the field.
Parsons with his first reception. He is the only junior starting on this offense.
But obviously a control receiver split. To the bottom of the screen comes Javante King. Jackson Grimmett, of course, calling signals, and that'll be Deegan Hale split to the top of your screen. Capson goes into motion. Pass goes out to him. Coming back, that was Deegan Hale that came back actually and got the pass. And he'll get enough yardage for the first down, but only about 3 or 4 yards, and the clock will continue to run. Well, they've stopped the clock momentarily to move the chains, and then we should be resuming play again, and Blackfoot is ready to go. They're not wasting any time. We said 2-minute offense. They started it at 2:32, and we still have 2:08 to go. They've moved almost 40 yards. Grimmett, handoff. Goes on the keeper to Capson. Capson takes it around the right side. He's going to get 7-8 yards. They're going to keep the clock running, I believe. He did not get out of bounds. But it's a 7-8 yard pickup. That'll be the biggest time eater play that they've run so far, because everything else has been out beyond the boundary or got the first down. 2nd and 3. They are at Broncos are at the Huskies 37-yard line, leading this one 14-13. Number 4 ranked in the state, Blackfoot. Number 8 ranked Emmett. And Grimmett's going to keep it. He'll be tripped up, but not before he gets the first down. He got a little bit of space and was able to stretch out and bring it down after grabbing getting brought down by Brian Walker.
Yeah, Walker, a great heads-up play, because if he didn't wrap him up by the toes there, Grimmett could have been off to the races. There wasn't a lot there to stop him.
We're moving inside, 1 minute to play, and the Broncos are inside the Husky 35 with the 1st and 10. Grimmett looking downfield. He's firing. Look at it for Deegan Hale, and Hale actually kind of got his legs tied up along with number 5, Callan Conklin of Emmett. Conklin went down, but the pass went over the top of him, and Hale couldn't take advantage of the open field in front of him.
It looked like both of them had their eyes on the ball, and neither of them were looking at each other and just kind of ran into each other.
And Conklin, who's a 140-pound wrestler, a little smaller, lost the battle of the chest bumps. He went down, but he did not give up the reception or the touchdown that could have ensued there. So 48 seconds to go, second down and 10 from the 35. Again, Grimmett back to pass, looking downfield. He's being chased out of the pocket. He's going to be hit hard, and he fires downfield and going high and pulling it down. And they calls from the fans for an offensive pass interference as it looked like King pushed the defender who was in front of him away, but he goes up high and pulls down that broken field play. King with his third touchdown reception of the night.
Grimmett, I don't know how he got that pass off. He was jumping in the air as he threw it. He got hit pretty hard and hit his head, got up holding his head. So
well, he got
we'll see
flipped.
How he is.
He got flipped as he passed it. But King with that great leaping ability and behind the defender just enough, had apparently enough of a separation to pull it in. He has his third touchdown of the night. And Blackfoot trying to push this back to a 2-possession lead. Kick is up and good again. They're perfect 3 for 3 at the extra point. And with 38 seconds to go here before halftime, it's Blackfoot 21, Emmett 13. And the difference is strictly Mr. King. Javante King has just been able to go up and grab a couple of passes that someone maybe 3-4 inches shorter and not as athletic probably wouldn't have got to.
Yeah, King is definitely using his size to his advantage, and he's just out. I mean, he's just outsizing the defense. There's nothing else to it. He's getting some separations. He's big, he's physical, and he's able to get up and win those one-on-one battles.
Well, the Huskies are going to have 38 seconds to try to counter this, and the question is, we haven't seen that kind of quick strike offense for the most part out of them so far this season. A lot of it may be dictated by what kind of return they get on this kickoff.
Could be.
If you get to midfield or something, you can open it up. If you're back at your own 10 or 15-yard line, then you're not likely to want to take that kind of a chance probably here, because you're down 8 points, so officially still just one possession. Kick is on its way. It's coming down to Loomis. He fumbles it at the 10, picks it up the 15, he's to the 20, the 25, the 30, breaks the tackle to the 33-yard line. And Joe Loomis will set the Huskies up after the tackle by Nick Walker for Blackfoot with 32 seconds to go. As long as you don't turn it over and shoot yourself in the foot, I think you got to take a few shots here. But I've thought that many times near halftime and seen teams just pretty much take it in.
With 30 seconds left, I wouldn't be shocked if they took at least one look downfield.
Yeah.
But
Emmett will get the ball to start the second half, and whether that plays in. But that's where sometimes you want to take the shot, because if you can happen to get the score, and then you can get the lead back when you get it back. Perry in the backfield, and he's going to be sacked back at the 19-yard line. Steven Sanders in there to make the stop. Perry just held on too long, couldn't see anybody downfield, didn't have a relief valve nearby. And the clock is running down to 13. I'm not sure the Huskies will even take another snap. They don't look like it, the way they're walking back into position.
That's going to be half,
They're contemplated to say, this is it. We started with the lead. Now we're fighting from behind, but we're still in touch. So with 24 minutes of football now, history here at Husky Field in Emmett. It's Blackfoot 21 and Emmett 13. We'll be back in a few minutes to recap the scoring and talk about this game and the season these two teams are likely to have ahead.
Why spend 15 minutes quoting your insurance with one company? Go to biginsurance.com and let leading insurance companies shop for your insurance. You can even chat with one of our agents standing by, only at biginsurance.com.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together. High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're Valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
Well, it's halftime here at Husky Field in Emmett, Idaho, and here at the break, it's the Blackfoot Broncos 21 and the Emmett Huskies 13. And in some ways, if you look at it purely statistically and momentum-wise, Huskies have got to feel good being down 8 and getting the ball to start the second half, because Blackfoot has put on a passing exhibition, particularly with those two wide receivers in Hale and King, that Hale has been more the decoy. He caught the first early passes and has been the decoy since then, but King has just been dominant, has grabbed 3 scoring touchdowns from Grimmett, and that has been the difference. On the other side, the Huskies have had shown little sparks of running game at times, little sparks of a little passing game, but no real consistency offensively.
Yeah, and then that's what the Huskies are talking about at half, is how do they get that better coverage on those wideouts? Right now, they're just coming up against a size difference, and that's the biggest thing. So then you have to start asking yourself, well, is it time to start double teaming? Is it time to start running a zone maybe and just getting more bodies back there, because they're just getting outsized.
And once you do that, that opens up the inside possibly for Austin Ramirez to get a little bit more running room than he's had. For the Huskies, it's been Rye Fullerton inside, and they've had a few pass plays click for them at times, but it has not been, like we said, anything real consistent up to this point. If you joined us late, Emmett actually scored early. They took the opening kickoff and drove down the field, and they actually scored on a 19-yard pass from Dakota Perry to Isaac Brennan. That was with 5:17 to go in the first quarter, but the Broncos came back quickly. Grimmett finding King in the end zone from 12 yards out. The extra point gave them the 7-6 lead. King again in the end zone from 6 yards out with a one-handed catch in the left corner from Grimmett. The kick was good. It was 14-6. And then the Huskies responded with a drive downfield, and Dakota Perry scrambled on 4th down for a first down, and then he took it in for the final 5 yards from the quarterback run, and they got the kick to go. They pulled within 1. And that was with 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. But we talked at that time, it was a 2-minute offense all the way down the field. Grimace executed it beautifully, and no more so than on the 35-yard strike to King deep in the end zone as he was coming on the cross. And we'll have to watch if Grimmett comes back, because he was upended and did a full pirouette and landed on his shoulder and neck, I think, as he released that football that King was able to convert into points.
Yeah, Grimmett took a really hard one there at the end, as you said, doing the full 180 and landing on his head. So we'll be looking to see if he comes back. He got right up, but he was holding his head, so we'll see when he comes back from half. But as you said, it's kind of all been King's court this first half. It's kind of all been King making plays and just winning that size difference. So I think on the Emmett offense, there's not much you need to really change. What you're doing is working. You just need to be patient and keep playing the ball. The biggest problem I think Emmett's going to run into is they don't have the experience that the Broncos have. They're not running all those seniors. So you just can't let being down 8 points and a half get to your head.
Yeah, one thing we should note, too, the Huskies used a lot of different formations in that first drive down the field, and they've kind of settled in a little bit more since then, and maybe not trying to do quite so much misdirection, and maybe that's what you have to do against these seniors of Blackfoot, to make them think that you're doing something, because they're more likely to respond than a sophomore is sometimes to what they see on the field, and then you can have misdirection. This broadcast on IdahoSports.com is being brought to you in part by Mountain West Bank, Teton Auto Group, and D.L. Evans Bank. Also by Project Filter, Valley-Wide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers. And tonight's game with the local sponsors for these two teams, Lava Hot Springs, Conquest Insurance Agency, Cushman Drilling and Pump, Hannigan Auto Sales, Mountain West Building Supply, and Gem Supply Co-op here in Emmett. I want to thank all those sponsors who make it possible for you to listen and watch these ball games strictly right here on IdahoSports.com. For our Husky listeners, you can catch us for all the home games this year. We'll also be on the road for the games at, we're playing Lake City out of Coeur d'Alene, but we're playing that game in Baker, Oregon in 2 weeks. That'll be a neutral site game with a 4 o'clock Pacific kickoff time. It's actually going to be a doubleheader with Emmett and Lake City playing at 4, and then the evening 7 o'clock kickoff will be Homedale making the trip over to take on the Baker Bulldogs. So that should be a great trip. We're going to be Mike's side for both of those games for you right here on IdahoSports.com. And of course, Blackfoot Broncos can follow the Broncos on all the East Idaho broadcasts. And you've certainly got a busy schedule ahead. I think next week you head to Madison. And then, of course, when you get into the High Country Conference, what a combination. Right now, the High Country is where the Southern Idaho Conference was about 3 years ago. Last year was the first time in like 10 years that no Southern Idaho Conference team made it to the quarterfinals. Made it past the quarterfinals. They had always been semifinals, usually someone in the finals, often against Eastern Idaho. And last year, of course, the championship was Skyline defeating Sandpoint. Sandpoint getting there with that overtime 1-point win over Blackfoot. Now, we talked about, kind of teased early in the ball game, that there's a lot of memories on this field. And talking with Coach Ackley, there are some memories down at this far end of the field. 2 years ago in the quarterfinals, Blackfoot had the lead, and we were inside 2 minutes to go, but they had been pinned back deep near their own goal line. And with 80 seconds to play, they were trapped for a safety in the end zone, and they lost the ball game by the 1 point. Emmett then went on to win the semifinals before falling to Skyline in the championship game. So obviously that 1 point thing that then became a pattern last year, those are things that Blackfoot doesn't want to see here. And right now they've got the 8-point advantage, so it's tough to get the 1 point edge unless
don't jinx it. Don't get us started here. But the last thing we want to do is start Blackfoot off on a bad note. But yeah, definitely. There are many memories here, and a lot of bad memories that started off quite a streak that was quite upsetting for Blackfoot.
Well, and in reality, too, the program at Blackfoot has been a strong football program for years. And Coach Ackley inherited and has done well with them and has brought them a long way in his third year. So those kind of ghosts shouldn't live. And the other aspect is this is a very senior-laden team. I don't know how many of them were actually here as sophomores. So I would say that probably very few. And if that's the case, you don't carry memories in high school for the team that was 2 years in front of you.
You're right. And you bring up a good point. This is a very, very veteran team. You got mostly seniors on this line with only one junior starting on offense and one sophomore starting on defense. So very senior line, which means next year is very much a question. So this is the year for Blackfoot. This is the year that they want to be making it to that playoffs and making that playoff run.
Well, I think that's certainly the feeling. Here in Emmett, most of the feeling coming into this year is it was going to be kind of a rebuilding transition year. We had some quality seniors back, but looking at the line and some of the other key positions, juniors and sophomores were huge. Emmett starts 2 sophomores on the line, and they're probably the most athletic of the group. And their freshmen and JV teams look strong too. If you joined us late, the Emmett JV defeated the Blackfoot JV earlier tonight on this same field, 34-24. And the Emmett freshmen, who have not been scored upon since Optimus football. Were not scored upon their 7th grade year or their 8th grade year, got scored upon today. But they won 54-3. So they have yet to give up a touchdown.
Would you count a field goal as a scored upon? I don't know. That one's more of a question.
It was in the
me.
second half, and I'm not sure how it all happened, but because that was over at the middle school. But it's been a great day of football for these two programs to get together, and we appreciate the Blackfoot program to bring everybody over here to play 3 games in the same day rather than the home-and-home swaps that we normally do. And, of course, they're wanting to walk out of here with a big victory on the varsity side of it. And right now they've got the 8-point advantage that says they got a good shot at possibly doing that here, though Emmett will be receiving the kickoff to start the second half. Cushman Drilling and Pump in Blackfoot has been providing well drilling and well pump services in eastern Idaho for over 4 generations. With their superior customer service, quality workmanship, 24-hour service, and free estimates, you can't go wrong with Cushman Drilling and Plumbing. Give them a call today at 208-785-1588 or check them out online at cushmanwelldrilling.net.
Well, our scoreboard says we have about 19 seconds left of the half, but the Huskies still aren't back out here yet. So we're waiting on them to come back.
Well, and traditionally here, they run the clock down and then they reset it usually for 2 to 3 minutes once both teams are on the field. The Huskies, as we speak, coming now in on the field. The far side of the field, the Blackfoot Broncos are already here. And they're stretching and running around and trying to stretch out. I'm trying to see if that's King down there in the end zone that he owned in the first half. No, I think that's actually Hale that's doing a little bit of stretching of the calves and trying to get ready. But it will be a kickoff coming from the Blackfoot Broncos. As we said, Blackfoot will turn around after this week and head to Madison for another non-conference game. And then, of course, the High Country Conference is going to be a loaded schedule. They've got Skyline, Bonneville, Hillcrest. Shelley looks like they're going to be strong again this year. So a great effort. One thing to note that the A4 ranks have changed considerably this year, not so much for the High Country Conference, but for certainly the Southern Idaho Conference. Both Nampa and Middleton are no longer in this conference. They've been relegated up to the 5A conference. And Skyview, which had been 5A out of Nampa, has been dropped back into the 4A conference. So that means we were 1 team short of our normal group for the Southern Idaho Conference, but we're actually 2 teams short because Caldwell has opted to play a non-conference schedule only this year, trying to revive a program that hasn't had a victory in a number of years. And they opened up the season last week against 2A Payette and got beat. And so Caldwell is trying to get some footing. They do not have many athletes out, and that's something they're structuring with. And obviously, it's a cultural thing at Caldwell to some degree. They have 80-some kids out to a soccer program that is trying to get back to the state championship yet again. So obviously, some strengths and stuff they're trying to work with there. For the Emmett Huskies right now, in the preseason poll, some of them had them second behind Bishop Kelly. Others had them third behind Bishop Kelly and Skyview. The bottom line, according to Coach Hargett, is his team has to go 3-1 in the first half of the season and 3-1 in the second half of the season to have hopes of a first-round playoff berth. This year, the 4A playoffs, there's only 24 teams in the state. 16 of those will make the state tournament playoffs. So both of these teams have a lot of cushion, if you want to call it, getting to the state playoffs.
Well, you can call it that, and though there are less teams in the conference, I wouldn't say this is any easier of a schedule for either of these teams. Emmett is still playing one of the toughest non-conference schedules that they've had in years. I mean, as can be seen with Blackfoot here.
Yeah.
So you're not, even though there are less teams in the conference, it's not any easier.
No. The conference, they actually had 9 games scheduled, but there was a scheduling error in the 5th week of the season when Emmett was going to go down to Century and do at Century exactly what Blackfoot and Emmett are doing here. And that was apparently double booked at Century with a game at Twin Falls. And the Huskies have not been able to find someone to fill in Game 5, Week 5 game. They went as far as actually making arrangements to meet a team out of New Mexico in Las Vegas that week. And that fell through at the last minute. So they've been desperately trying to give these seniors that one more game that's going to be missing out of their schedule. But at least as things stand right now, it appears that they will have a bye week at Week 5. So they'll have 2 4-game sets on each side of the season. For Blackfoot, I don't believe there's any breaks. They've got to go all the way through. And, of course, they've got Skyline, which not only is ranked number 1 in the 4A ranks, but I've seen several rankings that make them possibly the number 1 ranked team in the state of Idaho at all sizes. And when you look at their talent that's back, which you don't have to tell the Blackfoot folks, they know who it's coming back at Skyline. Blackfoot Skyline, I think legitimately can be considered 1 and 2 in this conference, and Blackfoot beat Skyline, only loss they had last year in the regular season.
Yeah, you're very much possibly looking at a state final with those two teams. You've got a great lineup out of both Blackfoot and Skyline, as always, is just a force to be reckoned with.
Kickoff for the Broncos, going to go a little bit deeper this time. Loomis will take it at his 6-yard line. He's up to the 10, the 20, the 25, the 30, has a little bit of a seam across the 40, out to the 42-yard line. Joe Loomis does not have blinding speed, but he seems to have a sense of where the seams are before he's brought down by Bryson Gallegos.
Yeah, not a quick player, but a very, very strong runner, and he does not let those feet stop moving. That's really the sign of a good runner, someone who keeps their feet under them and keeps them moving rather than trying to just push full forward with power.
So the Huskies with decent field position to start this second half. They'll start at their own 42-yard line, trailing by 8. Same basic lineup we saw in the first half. As far as inside, quarterback Dakota Perry, running back is Rye Fullerton. Though we have not seen Fullerton carry the ball much since early in the game. Now we have a whistle in the backfield.
I believe we have a personnel penalty.
Do we have too many men on the field for Blackfoot?
They signaled for Blackfoot, but I guess so. I guess they had too many players on the field for Blackfoot. Too many defensive linemen.
In fact, one is just leaving right
95
now.
95 is pulling off the field right now.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
That's
9.
Tegan
Yes.
Wixom.
Yeah, they had 12 men on the field for that first snap, so that cost them 5. And so it's 1st and 5 for the Huskies at their own 47-yard line. Snap, handoff to Fullerton. Fullerton takes the snap, will get close to first down yardage. He keeps driving. I think he has. It'll depend on where the official puts the knee.
It looks like the official's going to mark him just short of that first down line, but a very good physical run.
He was stopped with about a 2-yard gain and makes 4 out of it. In fact, just across the 50-yard marker, it'll be a 2nd down for the Huskies. Perry looking downfield to pass, fires it out to Howe. Howe had 3 defenders around him, and yet that ball was dropped in there. Just led him a little bit too much. I think that was one of those, we've got 2nd down and less than a yard. Let's take one to go deep. But Blackfoot's defense did not bite. They were out there.
Yeah, great coverage by the defense. Just a little bit overthrown, though, and that could have been something.
Brennan is the up back to block, or will he go in motion? The ball is snapped, it's fumbled. Perry has to get a hold of it and just get control of it. He's going to lose about 8 yards all the way back to the 44-yard line. Dallin Ellis in there for Blackfoot. That was a very costly miscue for the Huskies. They had it 2nd and 1 at the 49. Now they're faced with 4th and 5 from back at their own 47-yard line, and it looks like are they going to punt?
No, I think they're just a spread offense. Oh, it was a fake punt.
But Perry's now he's going to have to fire it over to the midfield, and he passes it out there. It's off the hands of his receiver. He actually kind of made it up as he went. He looked out there, and Sammy Howe was in the slot coming across, got a hands on it but could not hold it, and the Huskies have turned it over on their first possession in their own territory.
Yeah, that's a definite misplay by the Huskies. It almost looked like he couldn't tell whether he was going to punt it or throw it or run it. Just so many questions, and eventually he tries to throw it up, hits the receiver in the hands, but it bounces out, and the receiver, little Sammy Howell, can't hold on to it.
Well, they certainly had some options there, and give Blackfoot credit defensively. They put enough pressure up the middle that it did not make a lot of space for that punt. And when Dakota Perry saw that he had people coming toward him, he decided to do something else with it. But he also realized when he started the scramble, he wasn't going to get the first down either, so he didn't cross the line of scrimmage and fired it out. Handoff on their end around goes to King, and King stretches it out. He's going to get near first down. He's still fighting for it. He'll be short of first down yardage, but he gets to the Emmett 40. So Javante King, that's the first time we've seen him in the running position, and he's a tough bird to bring down.
He is just such a big kid. I mean, you see him getting wrapped up by all the Huskies. His head's above all their heads as they're all trying to wrap him up. He's just a big, brutal player. And as you said, it was all him first half, and it looks like Blackfoot said, well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's just keep giving him the ball.
Yeah, well, they didn't throw the ball to him this time, but it was just as effective. And at the end of the ball game, we will be naming an IdahoSports.com player of the game. And you probably can figure out who probably is at current leading that ballot box. Grimmett looking to the far side, looking for signals, has a lone back behind him, and of course that's Ramirez. Off to his right side.
King lined up down right in front of you.
Yeah, King at the bottom, and at the top, of course, is Deegan Hale. They're looking for Hale. They're firing for Hale. He gets behind the defender, and he pulls it in at the 10. It'll be brought down at the 5-yard line.
Kalen Conklin stopping that touchdown, but...
Note. Stevie Howe was on Hale the first half. They've moved Hale to this side to cover King. Blackfoot saw it, went to the smaller defensive backs, and get the strike to Hale.
Yeah, they're definitely picking on Conklin tonight.
They've decided that, of course, Howe has been, like I said, he was draped all over Hale in the first half after he caught a couple early ones, and that sets him up first and goal at the 5-yard line, and we're just 3 minutes into this second half. Blackfoot trying to take it up to a double-digit lead. Straight ahead is Ramirez. He won't get much. Christian Sanchez is there for the stop for the Huskies. Christian playing with a torn ACL. He injured it a year ago, and without insurance and other factors, opted not to have the surgery, and he's just built strong. His older brother, Axel, of course, graduated a year ago, and he, last year at Idaho State University, set the school record in the discus and finished second in the Big Sky Conference Championships as a freshman. So anxious to see what Axel's career with Idaho State's going to be. Handoff on an end around, comes to the near side, powering forward and coming up short of the first down, and also having a flag thrown behind him. And that was number 12 coming around, Steven Sanders. Sanders gets a couple of yards, but a hold is coming up against Blackfoot. So instead of 3rd down and 1, the hold against Ashton Mikado is going to push that ball back outside the 10, I believe.
Yeah, another one of those holds on the back side of the play that you're just getting these linemen that are just holding just try to stop people from chasing from behind.
Well, and that was a tough one because the running back actually was coming off of the slot on that side and coming around, so you're trying to pin it so he can get free to get back to get the ball, but didn't work. So they're going to place that right at the 15-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and goal at the 15 for Blackfoot. Huge defensive opportunity now for the Huskies with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter if they can hold Blackfoot down.
Yeah, Huskies definitely looking to hold to an extra point or a field goal here.
And Grimmett's trying to take care of it to King. He does get it to him, and does he get the catch? I don't think so. I think, well, the officials on the side seem to indicate, but the official behind the play seemed to be waving it incomplete. Nope, they're calling it a completion at the 5-yard line. So King again, great hands. That bigger size, they hit him coming across. It is now 3rd down and goal for Blackfoot at the 5-yard line.
Emmett has got to find an answer for King. There they had 3 defensive men on him, and he still comes up with it. So
great
Huskies
hands, obviously.
got to find an answer for him.
Grimmett looking for the touchdown. He's going to be chased out of the pocket and wide open on the far corner for the touchdown is Court Capson. I thought I saw a flag thrown.
We have Laundry in the secondary. I'm thinking it could be offensive pass interference.
Capson was absolutely wide open at the pylon, right at the goal line on the right side, and they're going to call it a defensive hold, apparently away from where the pass went. So it's a 5-yard touchdown pass to Court Capson. So with 6:58 to go, Blackfoot has extended their lead. Grimmett has thrown his 4th touchdown pass for the night. So even though we were talking about King, you got to give Grimmett some credit here as a player of the game. And the extra point attempt coming up here to try to make this a 15-point lead. And the kick is high and in between the margins. It's good.
Perfect so far today on extra points is Blackfoot.
They're 4 for 4, and they have a 28-13 lead with 6:58 to go here in the third quarter. And again, we mentioned the Huskies got good field position. Looked like they had something to start right. They had a 2nd and 1 near midfield. Ended up giving it up in their own territory on downs. And so the defense for Blackfoot making a huge stop, and the Huskies defense unable to answer when they had an opportunity on 3rd and 15. They ended up giving up the 2nd and 15. They ended up giving the touchdown on 3rd and 5.
We've talked a lot tonight about the experience that Blackfoot has coming into this game with all these seniors. Now is the time that we're actually going to be starting to question, let's see if the Huskies have that resiliency. They're a younger team, but they've got to stay calm, hold on a second, and go, wait a minute, we're still in this game. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
And obviously the one factor that's in play here is Blackfoot has great confidence that they can score and that they have the weapons to do that. The Huskies, with a lot of new combinations this year, including a first-year varsity starting quarterback in Perry, are still trying to get that confidence. And we've seen 2 or 3 passes that were right in the hands that they just didn't hold on to. And that's got to change. And it's got to change quickly here in this one if they don't want this one to get further away from them. And they'll be back for the reception. Loomis back on the top of your screen about the 5-yard line. This kick's going to be high and short. I believe that'll be Howe taking it at the 25 across the 35.
Yeah, that's the 2nd return from Howe because these kicks just seem to be a little short tonight.
Yeah, they get a little height to it, and that's sometimes not a bad weapon if you're afraid of that deep kick. And the Huskies will start at their own 37-yard line. 6 minutes, 53 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 28-13, Blackfoot with the advantage. I think we said in the pregame show that to some degree when you look at straight numbers, you'd say 21-point Blackfoot lead, but maybe 14 because they're on the road. Well, it's 15 right now, and right now they're looking that they're in control of this one unless the Huskies can show some spark here offensively. Perry rolls out to the left, throws up a pass, and he is intending it for Howe. And Howe's going to draw the interference flag from number 10. Tyler Johnson kind of turned Howe around. And that pass is going to be bailed out, I think, with a pass interference called against against Blackfoot. Don't want to start thinking Bishop Kelly. The last 2 seasons, the Huskies have started the Southern Idaho Conference season against the powerful Black Knights, and they have for 2 consecutive years knocked off Bishop Kelly. And this year they will not start conference play against Kelly. They will not face them. In fact, Emmett faces Bishop Kelly on the same 1st October Friday that Skyline and Blackfoot will meet.
Wow, what a weekend that's going to be.
It could be a very big weekend for both of those conferences, that's for sure. So after the march off, the Huskies are in Bronco territory at the 47-yard line with a 1st and 10. Perry with handoff to Fullerton. He's going to get a yard or 2, and that's it. That inside space that was available early in this ball game to Fullerton has really closed down since probably the start of the second quarter.
Yeah, I think that's really where you're starting to see the younger, smaller Huskies offensive line starting to get bullied a little bit by that big Blackfoot defensive line. Yeah. And they're stacking 5 in the box, so they're definitely not making it easy on them. No,
they're going for it, and they're pushing it right up the middle, but they're also being conservative to not give you space. Perry with the little flare out to the outside that is Isaac Brennan, who's going to get near the 1st down. That was really close to the line of scrimmage when Perry fired that to the near side, but I think it was at about the 47-yard line when he let go of it. And
we do have some laundry downfield. I'm not exactly sure what. It was so far away from the play. I'm not sure what this could be. I don't know. It looks defensive.
That's for the backfield, Judge. So I don't think it could have anything to do with the legitimacy of the pass.
No, I think the pass was good. It was a forward lateral, but he was behind the line of scrimmage. I'm not sure what this could be.
Oh, we're going to have pass interference against Emmett, the call.
Downfield in the middle of the field.
So somebody must have been, somebody going across the center must have pushed for position. And you know, that sometimes happens and is ignored because the play wasn't there.
Right.
And obviously in this case, it was not ignored. It was taken, and that will back the Huskies up. So instead of 1st and 10 at the Bronco 47-yard line, they're going to have it, actually 2nd and 10, because they're going to back. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That cost
a 15-yard penalty
from the line of scrimmage. So instead of 2nd and 9, it's now going to be 2nd down and 23. Got it. Actually, it's all the way to the 39-yard
line. Yeah, it's almost at 25.
They're at the 39, and they've got to get it all the way to the 32-yard line for a 1st down. So be careful
37.
and don't get too much. Excuse me, right, 37, not 32. Lines starting to blur here as the sun has set. Lights are on the field here, and it's actually becoming very, very pleasant.
Well, now the head judge is waving that flag off, he's saying. So it looks like they're going to take that back and march it back to the original line of scrimmage.
And they're going to mark it to where the completion went, and they're going to call it a 1st down. So apparently there was an interpretation of a rule that, and now they're over on the far side talking to Jared Ackley, to explain to him what the change in the call is. Like I said, it was strange of where it came from where the play was on the near side, and then to be such a significant penalty. And now the officials are explaining something to the players on the field. Well, at least they did to the Emmett players and a few of the Blackfoot players there, and Ackley still getting conversation with a full ad hoc committee over there.
And Dale, as you were saying, as weird as this seems, I actually think this is the right call. The penalty was called so far away from the play that it didn't really have any effect on the play, and
Well, and we didn't see it, so we don't even know what it was.
Right.
The indication that the official gave was an offensive push-off, but who knows where that is. And again, the conversation continues with the stripes on the far side. Ackley putting his headset back on. Apparently, whether he's happy or not, we don't know. He's not making a big fuss about it, and the officials are going back to their positions, and it is 1st and 10. Emmett at the Blackfoot 33-yard line. 6 minutes, 11 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Blackfoot with a 28-13 lead. Perry with a stacked backfield behind him. That's the first time we've seen this.
Blackfoot absolutely stacking the box. You've got 6 coming, but it doesn't seem to matter as the pass gets out to number 11, Brian Walker, out there on the reception for a first down, a beautiful 15-yard catch and carry.
Walker was set up in the front position of the running backs and then quickly raced out into the flat and got the pass from Perry for the completion. So the Huskies changing that offensive look again and getting consecutive first downs with 6 minutes to go. They have the ball just nudging into the red territory, the red zone.
Players running off the field. Blackfoot not wanting to get caught with 12 players on the field again.
Perry behind center. He's right up under center. No shotguns here. Handoff goes straight ahead, and that again is Walker. Brian Walker, the junior, will bring it straight forward. Will pick up maybe 3 yards. So the Huskies, sometimes you feel like they're playing it really conservatively, and then all of a sudden they throw a little wrinkle in there that so far really haven't been a roll of the dice type offense, but they've thrown some wrinkles in that have given them a couple of sense of motions. And with 5:31 to go here in the third quarter, they're needing to complete this drive to have any hopes of coming back in this ball game against Blackfoot. Perry holds on to it, fires to the end zone. Overthrown. Looked like he had his man and he threw it over his shoulder, but unable to come up with it, I believe, was Howe. Yep, Stevie Howe again, trying to catch it over the shoulder with the defender behind him, but he could not rope it in. And that has really been the difference in this ball game. The Huskies have had 4 or 5 opportunities where they've had it look like a little space, could not make the connection. And, well, you have Javante King to throw to when you're Blackfoot, and the connection is like automatic. Perry gets the snap, going to take it himself right up the middle on 3rd down and 8. He's going to only pick up a couple of yards. So I don't know if that was a missed call or they thought they might be able to catch that inside interior defense for Blackfoot sleeping. But those are the kind of plays we used to see Caden Young somehow break through and make big runs with. But there's not many Caden Youngs.
Right. No, that definitely looked like a design quarterback keeper from the beginning. He didn't seem to even look downfield. So that was definitely a design play. Not sure what the goal was there, but short.
4th and 5 from the 15. Pass comes back across the middle, and I think we've got a touchdown. What a pass coming back to Stevie Howe. Howe was not the lead receiver. He was the trail receiver and gets the crossing pattern. And Howe from 15 yards out pulls the Huskies back within a score.
They tried to go to Howe before, just overthrew him, came back to him a couple plays later, and it worked a treat. The kick is up for the extra point, and it's good.
So the kick is good, and we now have an 8-point ball game. It is Blackfoot 28, Emmett 20. As the Huskies close in a little bit, they take that ball 65 yards in 2.5 minutes, and they come up with some big pass plays to make it work. So the Huskies back in here, and they'll be kicking it off here and see if their defense can get a stop against Blackfoot. The Broncos have scored on their last 3 possessions, and that bridges both halves, so it'll be a tough one. Lava Hot Springs is your destination for a fun or relaxing day, whichever you choose. Just go play or actually really relax. And they even say there's somewhat of a medicinal value to taking the cure, as we used to say. Whichever you choose, just 11 miles off of I-15. Their world-famous hot springs are open daily 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. The all-natural geothermal hot springs, always a warm 102 to 112 degrees. So come soak your worries away. Remember that the summer season ends Labor Day weekend, so get out there now. They do have an indoor center that is available with that hot springs year-round, so you don't lose out entirely if you don't make it between now and September the 5th. But I'd check it out. The indoor pool, as we said, open year-round. Check out lavahotSprings.com for more information. The Emmett kick is coming. It's a little bit low, but it'll be taken at the 20-yard line, bringing it to the near sideline. And then cutting back to the right is Austin Ramirez. Ramirez breaks a couple of tackles, and he gets up with a nice return all the way out to the 45 before Avery Clayton brings him down. So Blackfoot not going to be pinned deep. That's where field position in a game like this becomes so critical, is how do you back them up, Because if a miscue happens, it's sure nice when it's at the short end of the field.
This is definitely a key drive for both Blackfoot and Emmett. Blackfoot looking to get back that 2-point lead, really to secure that lead. And Emmett needs to make a stop here if they have any hope of getting back into this game.
Yeah, they don't want to be 2 scores down into the fourth quarter. Grimmett keeps the ball near side. He's going to race to the 50. It'll be run out about at about the 49-yard line. He falls out to the near sideline, but last contact was made on the interior of the grass. But about a 6-7 yard pickup for Jackson Grimmett.
Grimmett with almost flavors of Young. I know they're different teams, but he's kind of got that long, lanky movement that Young was so accustomed to.
The difference we always watched with Mr. Young for 2 seasons was as he got near the sideline, he'd cut back to the middle of the field and go somewhere. Not always the brightest thing to do necessarily, but he made it work. 2nd down and 4 to go for the Huskies. For the Broncos in Husky territory. Pass comes off to who else but Mr. Javante King for the first down yardage. He pivots, has 2 men on there, continues to dance with him, and he'll finally get Dosi-Doed out about the 44-yard line. But enough for the first down. They're going to mark the forward progress at about the 42, 43, it looks like, in Emmett territory.
As you mentioned earlier, Dell, Stevie Howe has become kind of the king stopper, as you will, the second half. And right there, he didn't take him down, but he stopped him up enough just to get the rest of the defense over there to help him out. So,
yeah, the idea of moving him over here second half has been certainly one of the changes that Emmett did defensively. And now the Huskies are going to give up 5 yards as they were trying to put some blitz and pressure on from the near side, and Daniel Walker certainly crossed the neutral zone.
Right. Well, and that's another one of those. You have this veteran senior line from Blackfoot. They don't jump early. They're very, very disciplined. So they've done a great job of just being aware of the play, aware of the count, and going when they need to.
Because that's sometimes what the purpose is for someone jumping on the defensive line is trying to get someone on that offense to flinch, and it didn't happen. So it's 1st down and 5 at the 37. Pass to the near side, looking for King, but it's blocked away, and I believe it was Daniel Walker. Got a hand on that one. So he penalty last time, and this time he gets the stop with the deflection. So it'll be 2nd down and 5 at the 38-yard line. 3 minutes, 41 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Again, Blackfoot with the 8-point lead, and trying to get back a 2-score lead that they had until moments ago when the Huskies were able to get their third score of the night. Grimmett going to keep it, rolls to the right side. He's going to get first down yardage and then some as he cuts the corner and cuts up down into the 25. I think they're marking about the 26 where he ran out of bounds. But he was able to outrun the Husky pursuit and pick up the first down. And Blackfoot continues offensively to move this football. He said since the first quarter when they got stymied on a couple of possessions, Blackfoot has pretty much been able to drive the field eventually with their, I guess you'd call ball control passing game.
Yeah, this spread offense just creates so many different options. And though they've hit King a lot, they're starting to get more people involved on this offense.
Back to pass, Grimmett. He has not been knocked down yet, but he's have the pass knocked down. Jumping up, that is Ryder Scheibe, a sophomore for Emmett, who's able to pop up and knock away that intended pass, looking for, I believe, for Deacon Hale on the right sideline.
Yeah, Scheibe came in just this second half. He's not a starter on this team, but he's been put in, and he's so far done a great job this second half locking down that outside.
Scheibe, the quarterback on the junior varsity team that had the win earlier tonight. So he only has a couple of quarters available to play. Grimmett in the backfield with Ramirez to his side. It's been a consistent backfield set for Blackfoot all night long. And the pass over the middle, he's trying to get it into the hands of Dallin Ellis, I believe. No, excuse me, Caden Parsons. And it's a little bit behind him. It'll scoot off the ground, so it'll be incomplete. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for Blackfoot at the Emmett 27-yard line. So a big play here, and you have to think the Broncos are in 4-down territory. It's really not enough field to try to punt with, and that would be as poor a field position as the Huskies have had to start a drive, even if you turned it over right there. So,
right.
So, of course, they're not thinking turning it over. They're not thinking of 2 plays. They're thinking of this play and the first down opportunity. And back to passes. Grimmett fires a hard over the middle, and I believe it's enough for a first down as King gets it at about the 15-yard line. He's driven back to nearly the 20, but the completion is made at the 15. And very, very strong pass from Grimmett, and King grabs it. Stevie Howe was right there to defend and not giving the big play downfield, but the possession play out of this passing game for Blackfoot continues to work, and they're threatening to try to take this up to a 2-score deference before the end of the third quarter. Trips to the top of the field. King here on the bottom. Of course, it'll be Howe watching him. The handoff goes up the middle, and barreling straight forward is Court Capson, and he's going to get inside the 5-yard line. Huskies watching for the outside, and they do a little fake draw as the receiver came back in, took the handoff, went straight ahead, and picks up 11.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where you see a different back in the backfield, and you automatically assume it's got to be a pass.
Yeah.
And not the case. Blackfoot showing they've got more depth there than they've been showing off.
Well, depth is one thing. In fact, I believe the Post-Register writer in the preview season for Blackfoot said that they've got experience galore. I mean, it's just everywhere, and that's showing here many times this evening.
Capson in the backfield with Grimmett still.
Capson a little bit bigger than Ramirez, so maybe for a little more power. Of course, they're going to go to King, and King has number 4. I think. Yes. He falls out of bounds, but they just throw it to him. He reaches out, and King has his 4th touchdown catch of the night with 1:50 to go. This one officially from 5 yards out.
Yeah, once again, Blackfoot going to King. They see that size mismatch on the outside. Howe doing his darndest to try to defend him, but he just doesn't have the size that King has. So anytime you're going to that pylon in the corner, King's got a definite advantage.
Grimmett with his 5th touchdown pass of the night. King with his 4th touchdown reception of the evening. And the kicker, Ballesteros, is 5 for 5.
Still perfect.
So with 1:50 to go here in the third quarter, the Huskies find themselves down 15 for the second time here in the second half. And that's going to make then things very, very interesting for the offensive coordinator here, because not only does he need to drive the ball and control the ball, but he needs to score quick and he needs to get the ball back, because Blackfoot has driven 4 consecutive possessions to score.
Yeah, this is definitely a key offensive moment for Emmett. They really need to get some points on the board on this drive. You do not want to go into the fourth quarter down 15 to a team that seemingly they can't stop.
Yeah, and the other side of this, I guess, is if you could take about 8 minutes off the clock and score, and then get a turnover in the waning seconds, try to steal one.
That's a dangerous game, Dale.
Well, it certainly is, but it may be the only game you've got in your hand. You have to look at this as a game of cards, and right now the Broncos have a lot more face cards in their hand.
I see what you did there, king and face cards. Clever.
1:50 to go in the third quarter. Blackfoot 35, Emmett 20. High kick. It's going to bounce, taken to the far side by Loomis. He'll cut back to the near side, gets one block, and will get across the 35 and no further. Looked like for a moment that the blocking might open up clear around the perimeter, but Loomis cut inside and was brought down at the 37-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Huskies. 1:42 remaining here in the second quarter. The third quarter. about ready to say second half, but we're not there yet. This game was scheduled to kick off at 6 o'clock tonight, and obviously we didn't kick off till about 7. They scheduled to play the JV game at 4 and the varsity at 6. We knew that was going to be pretty tight, but they're trying to do it as early as they could so Blackfoot could get back on the road tonight. I mean, they've got a 4 or 5 hour bus ride back home once they leave here tonight. But right now, it could be a very joyous bus ride for them to start the season. Handoff goes inside, and is that Fullerton?
It's 21, I believe.
Oh, 21.
So
It'll be Isaac
Brennan.
We haven't seen Fullerton, but a handful of carries tonight, which is a surpriser to me. But he's been out there defensively as a linebacker, so maybe just a matter of pacing things. About a 4-yard pickup for Brennan on the carry. So Huskies.
Now we have Fullerton back in the game, back at the back.
Fullerton, and of course Dakota Perry at the QB spot. Stevie Howe at the bottom of the screen. We're going to have a motion call, I think, against the Huskies. Illegal procedural. That'll cost them 5, so it'll be second down and nearly a full 10 again. Actually, for a first game of the season, we've been relatively penalty-free here tonight.
Yeah, only a few defensive penalties, only 1 offensive penalty so far. So
yeah, we haven't seen that. The offsides, the encroachment. No, these two lines have actually played very clean and very strong against each other. So second down and 10. Now back from the 37-yard line. Perry goes back to pass. Being chased out of the pocket. Now comes back to the near side, fires it out to Fullerton, and Fullerton can't get onto the football.
They're going to call that incomplete.
And they're going to call that it was a forward pass.
Yep.
Fullerton was definitely in front of Perry, but he couldn't hold on to it, so it'll go as an incomplete pass, remaining with the line of scrimmage at the 37, but now third down and long coming up for the Huskies. So a couple of quick plays that looked like they were starting momentum, and now a penalty, and now a incomplete pass that could have been even more disastrous.
Yeah, Huskies looking, the age is starting to show a little bit. The inexperience is starting to come out. They got to calm down and just play the game, and they're getting a little bit of the horse in front of the carriage, if you will.
Perry rolls to the near side. He's going to fire downfield. He airs it out there. It's to Brennan for the touchdown! Dakota Perry fires it 63 yards to Isaac Brennan.
Yeah, it looked like a broken play, but Brennan just out of nowhere got a step on his defender and just got off to the races. And what a pass!
You thought it was almost going to be overthrown, but Brennan has great speed and he got under it. 35 seconds to go in the third quarter, and the Huskies, a kick fails.
Blocked again.
And that's going to be costly because they remain 9 points down. Tyler Johansson, I think that's the second block.
Johnson with his second block of the game. And folks, it might not seem like much, but that might be the difference maker here tonight.
We've talked about 1-point games.
Oh, don't get me started again. Not again, Bill.
Blackfoot 35, Emmett 26. 35 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and we were questioning, do the Huskies have a downfield strike? They've answered at least one version of it.
Yeah, that was key. I think all of a sudden this game is a game. It was starting to get out of hand a little bit, but by Blackfoot, and it looked pretty dire coming into that third down play. But one big play, and all of a sudden, we got a ball game again.
Conquest Insurance Agency has been serving your insurance needs for years. They are built on the principles of providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for your customers. As an independent agent, they work with select insurance companies, and they have proven their performance over the years. Conquest Insurance Agency, dedicated to getting you the best insurance products and services available to protect you, your family, and your business. Located at 144 West Bridge and Blackfoot, or call 208-785-0760. Proud sponsors of the Blackfoot Broncos. Still 35 seconds remaining. Now the big question is, the question of can this offense score? Answered. Now, can this defense stop Blackfoot? Squib kick into the middle.
That's King on the return.
And King breaks a tackle, breaks a second, gets across the 40-yard line. King, out of the middle of the 30-yard muddle, is able to come up with 10 yards. And we have a
Kalen
Conklin with the stop.
Limping off the field right now. That would be a big loss on this defense.
One of those defensive backs got a pretty good limp going.
He was holding his knee when he got up. I think he just got tangled a little bit with King there on the tackle. Conklin did make the tackle.
So Blackfoot will start at their own 40-yard line. 24 ticks remaining here in the third quarter. Blackfoot with a 9-point lead, 35-26. Handoff straight up the middle, running with that football. They've shifted from Ramirez to Capson. Yeah, Capson a little bit more physical maybe, and he'll get about 6. Let's see where they're going to mark it. They're going to give him 8 yards all the way out to the 48-yard line.
A lot of things happening on that start of that play. Huskies only had 10 on the field and had to run a player on last second. And that's the end of the third quarter. So going into the fourth quarter, Blackfoot looking like they could be threatening Husky territory.
That's for sure. Cushman Drilling and Pump in Blackfoot has been providing well drilling and well pump services in eastern Idaho for over 4 generations. With their superior customer service, quality workmanship, 24-hour service, and free estimates, you can't go wrong with Cushman Drilling and Pump. Give them a call at 208-785-1588 or check them out online at cushmanwelldrilling.net. Hannigan Auto Sales. Been locally owned and operated for nearly 100 years here in Emmett, and you can't stick around that long unless you treat every customer who walks onto the lot as family. Hannigan Auto Sales, a full-service dealer that can bring and take care of everything before, during, and after the sale. That's in-house financing, full-service auto detailing, and a repair shop run by the best vehicle experts around. You won't find a better place to buy or service your next used car, truck, or SUV than at Hannigan Auto Sales and Service on Washington Avenue in Emmett. Give them a call, 365-5050. Check out their great selection of used cars. They got a sweet little Corvette sitting down there right now that doesn't have my name on it.
As I say, Dale, don't get any ideas.
No. Couldn't get my backside into a Corvette, I don't think so. No delusions. No delusions here. The Broncos in control, looking downfield, firing downfield, and it's Deegan Hale that gets behind the defender for the Huskies, and he's inside the 15-yard line.
That was King on the pass. He came off on a motion, got the handoff, and then throws it down to Hale.
So King to Hale on the first play of the fourth quarter has flipped the field, and that pair we knew coming in were deadly. And the Huskies have fought and repositioned and done everything they can to try to control the two. And so far they have come up short of trying to make a stop. And now they are in deep territory. Broncos at the 14-yard line, looking to see if they can't put some cushion in this football game. The handoff will go right up the middle, Capson, and he's going to break inside the 10 down to about the 6-7 line. He'll be short first down territory. They started this possession at about the 13. Looks like they've got it at about the 7. So second down and 4 coming up for the for the Broncos at the Huskies 7.
Huskies needing to make a stop here, needing to keep themselves in this game.
Because the way Blackfoot's been kicking that football on conversions, that 9-point lead could be easily, a 16, 17-point lead in no time. And it's going to be that, it looks like, as the quarterback, Grimmett, keeps it. And Grimmett will take it in on the 7-yard keeper. So 3 plays, and Blackfoot is back in the end zone.
Blackfoot showing no sign of slowing down tonight. They are just going to keep putting it in. And of course, lining up for the extra point because they haven't missed yet tonight.
They've hit 5 of them. Can they make it 6 for 6? This would be 7 for 7.
Yep. It's up and it looks good.
I'll take that back. It is 6 for 6. I'm not good at math. That's 42, and that's exactly what they have. They've hit him. They lead it now 42-26. That is a 16-point lead, the biggest they've had of the ball game, and the Huskies are going to have to score twice with 2-point conversions both times to tie this one.
Yep.
So that 1-point threat doesn't really exist right now.
You keep bringing it up. It's giving me PTSD. We need to stop.
Well, it's when you're a Mariner baseball fan and they lose every one-point run game it seems like they play, you get kind of paranoid sometimes. Well, this year they have done much better in that regard. So we're just a minute into the fourth quarter, and Blackfoot now with 42 points up on the board. And that is a significant number. That is the most points scored against the Huskies in the last 2 seasons, I believe. They've never really had a shutdown defense, but they've been usually hard to score on, particularly in the second half of ball games. And I think Middleton's the only one that's put some of these numbers up the last couple of years, and the Huskies actually prevailed in both of those games. Here comes the kickoff. It's going to be taken at the 25-yard line, this time by, is that Brian Walker?
That's Daniel Walker.
Daniel Walker,
yeah.
Okay. Daniel Walker, yes, 14, not 11, bringing it up. So Daniel Walker will get it. The Huskies will have possession of the football at their own 32-yard line, but they've got to march this field twice and somewhere in the middle get a stop.
Make a couple stops, which they haven't been able to do. This Blackfoot offense has scored on their last 5 possessions.
And Mr. King has had his fingers in every one of them, though the last score was all the quarterback. So Grimmett now with 6 scores in the game, 5 passing and 1 rushing.
Hand up off the middle to number 25.
That's Fullerton. He'll get 4 yards. Again, inside, trying to keep that space open and honest. Maybe they can create a little space for a receiver out there. Perry's showing he can fire the deep ball. The snap's been a little inconsistent tonight. Perry fires it out to the near flat. It is caught by Brennan on the hip, and he'll be rolled out of bounds at the 46-yard line. 1st and 10, Emmett, as Isaac Brennan is able to come up with the catch.
Deegan Hale on the coverage there.
Hale, he's been everywhere, playing more two-way than we anticipated he would. But he's playing that safety position right now. Want that athlete out there. Pass comes to the near side to Stevie Howe, and Howe's going to get 4 yards. Just a quick little wide receiver screen with Brennan's doing the blocking, but a couple of the Broncos were there, so they don't let that one get away from them. That's the one thing that Blackfoot, they'll give some space and run the clock.
Well, and they've got the time and the points to do so. They can kind of play a little bit of prevent defense.
Yeah. The pass comes out to the near side again to Brent. No, that'll be to Fullerton, and Fullerton's going to get first down yardage down to the Blackfoot 43-yard line. So right now the Huskies just playing a little pitch game out to the left side of the field, and 3 straight completions gives them another first down. 9 minutes, 43 seconds, the clock becoming a factor at this one, obviously.
Yeah, Huskies needing to make a score on this drive, but needing to do it pretty quickly. As you said, the clock is definitely not on their side.
Perry fires it outside to Sammy Howe off of his fingertips. The younger Howe brother got some speed.
That was Stevie. That was actually the older brother.
No, it's 6. Oh, it is 18.
Yep.
I thought it was 16 when we were going down the field. Looked a little smaller. So Stevie, who caught the touchdown pass.
Just couldn't quite hold on to that one. Just got off his fingertips.
Howe had the second score of the game for the Huskies. And, of course, Brennan with the long grab on the last possession. So it's 2nd down and 10 for the Huskies at the Bronco 43-yard line. Perry again back to pass. Seeing some pressure come. Now he's going to fire it up low. Throws a little loop pass that's picked up by number 14. That is Daniel Walker, and he's going to take it. Kind of more of a shovel pass just to get out of traffic. He gets it all the way down to the 20-yard line.
And some great hands by Walker. He actually dropped it initially and was able to get his hands back under it before it hit the ground. So a great heads-up play by Walker to get that first down and to keep this drive alive.
Huskies nudging into the red zone. 9 minutes, 4 seconds to go here in the ball game. Handoff to Fullerton. He'll get maybe a yard.
I don't think he even got back to the line of scrimmage.
The Broncos have really stiffened up the middle since the first quarter when the Huskies were able to run off some pretty good gainers.
But it's one of those things you can't give up on the inside run, otherwise you become too one-dimensional. So they've got to keep them honest by keep throwing those runs down the middle. Not much effect, but it just keeps the game open to the Huskies.
And Fullerton is certainly capable of breaking one. Perry with the fake, now fires it back to Fullerton. He's raking it to the 10, the 5. He's in for the touchdown, I believe.
They're calling it a touchdown. What a great athletic run by Fullerton. Saw 5 defenders in front of him and said, you know what? I can still do this. A great run by Fullerton.
Fullerton scoring off the shovel pass outside, actually more of a backward pass from Perry from 20 yards out with 8:19 to go. The Huskies back on the board. They're within 10.
And it looks like they are lining up to go ahead and kick it. Well, never mind. It looks like it's a 2-point conversion. They had the defense definitely.
And Perry's going to run for it, and he's going to be stopped at the goal line, I believe.
Well, hold on now. We might have something interesting going on here.
We have a flag somewhere? I don't see
Well,
one.
they called it. It looked like Blackfoot had 12 on the field again. And they had one player running off, but I don't think he actually got off the field before
but they
called it. And
that's
what the Husky coach is talking to him right now about, because there definitely was a player on the field.
Well,
so
at this point, it looks like the run failed, and we have a 10-point ball game.
Yeah, that was a missed call, I think.
But the Huskies still have to score twice, and I think they were looking at that from the standpoint they were down. I thought they were running for 2 because they wanted to try to get it to 8. Because when you're down 16 points, that extra point wasn't going to do anything, the 1.
Yeah.
So now you're down 10, but still 8:18 to go, and the big question continues to remain. Can you stop this Blackfoot offense?
It's such a tall order, Del. King has had whatever he wanted all game long, has done a great job, and I just don't know what answer they have for him.
And he has been the ghost here in the second half, as he's just been the threat that then sets everybody else up. Blackfoot trying to get a run to the outside, and a nice skittering around to keep the ball in play. But finally, the stop is made. That was
Eventually, Brady Dillon wrapped him up.
Dillon making the stop finally on
25. So that was Parsons returning.
Caden Parsons with the return.
Yep.
8 minutes, 10 seconds to go. It's Blackfoot 42, Emmett 32. Well, we were questioning at halftime whether Emmett had explosive enough offense to do something. The last couple possessions, they've given us a hint that they have some.
Yeah, now I think it's just going to be all coming down to this defense. Can they keep Blackfoot out of the end zone?
Yeah, and they've got to do it twice.
Yeah.
Not just once. They're going to have to do it twice in the last 8-10 here, and somewhere in that process score twice. Big order for the homesteading Huskies. Pass out into the flat to Mr. King, and he's going to be wrapped up for a loss. Mark that one down as a record.
Fantastic defense by Isaac Brennan. Just got there, wrapped him up, and held on for dear life.
And then a couple of more teammates come up to finish him off. So a three-yard loss on the swing pass out to King behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a good start for the Huskies, but they got to do it 3 more times.
Yeah, it's because they've had a couple of stops at times and then given up a big play right afterwards. So we'll see what they can do here. 7 minutes, 32 seconds. The clock is running. And in all honesty, it's somewhat immaterial if there's not a stop soon and a quick Emmett score to even make this a potential comeback. Emmett rolls out to the right, looking downfield. Has a man wide open, but he's out of bounds. Pass is caught, but he is out of bounds.
And that was fantastic defense by number 7, Joe Loomis. He stuck with his defender, stuck with him until the very last second, till he knew there was not enough time for a pass completion, and then went after the quarterback. A great play.
And forced the quarterback to try to loft it over him to a receiver who was running an out pattern.
Yeah, that's a play that you don't get from a freshman. That's only a senior that can make that.
Yeah. So now we have the clock stopped with a 7-11. I'm not sure who called the timeout.
Well, it was incomplete pass.
Oh, well, that's right. I'm asleep at the
I was going to say, Dale, you're getting older, but not that old.
Yeah, well, let's not talk about that, young man. Okay, so Grimmett with the set in the backfield. He has with him Capson, I should say. Loops a pass to Capson out of the backfield, and he's going to get first down yardage inside. He's to the 50. He's going to break away. No, he's going to be pulled down, and that is Loomis who pulls him down at the 43-yard line. Looked like it was going to be busted up for no gain at all, and somehow Capson gets out of there, gets through a couple of defenders, and gets a huge first down. Otherwise, it would have been 4th and long for the Broncos, and we might have seen our first punt of the night.
Well, coulda, shoulda, woulda, but not anymore.
Nope.
Loomis barely stopping the touchdown on that play. Once again, making a good heads-up play. But Broncos looking good. Also, obviously, we've seen the change. Capson is now doing all of the backfield instead of Ramirez. So wonder what the change up there was.
A little more size, a little more physical maybe, and because he's going to take it right up the middle here and gets another 6-7 yards. But he goes upside, but he also has great hands to come out of the backfield in motion, and he did that on the last play, and this one he just runs out of that tailback spot and picks up 6 yards. We'll call that 2nd and 4 at the Emmett 37-yard line. Clock moving down towards 6 minutes, so the sand in the hourglass is certainly starting to accumulate on the bottom.
Yeah, Emmett's running out of time. They really need to stop here if they have any hope of stopping this Blackfoot team. But the Broncos just look too, I don't know, consistent is the word?
You know, for a first game of the season, both these teams actually look very good in this. We have not had a single turnover. And Capson's going to get the first down with that second effort and the spin forward.
I believe
and we've had very few penalties. Not a typical first game of the season.
That was actually a keeper by Grimmett.
Okay, so Grimmett kept it that time and with the pivot forward. Does not get the first down, it looks like, or are they going to measure it?
Yeah.
It looks like they've got it set at the 33. And
there's a conversation. The far judge is saying he's got it, but the close one's saying no. So
they're going to run the clock and say it's 3rd down and 1.
Okay.
So I thought he must have called him down before he was able to kind of spring forward. Must have had a knee down before he sprung forward on the twist.
Yep.
Grimmett with Capson in the backfield with him. Bottom of our screen is, of course, Hale. Top of the screen, of course, the King.
Does he earn the?
In my eyes tonight. Handoff goes to Capson, and I think he has it.
I don't know. They're looking like they marked
well,
him
where
right
the officials
on it.
over here looks like he's at the 32. And where they're
going to give him the first down. There it is.
Yeah. Well, they're caution of the 3 minutes right there. We're down inside 5 minutes, and Blackfoot could essentially, running the ball with 2 first downs, run this one out.
Yeah, I think that seems to be the play. There's no reason to air it out again and risk the long ball, though.
What
seems
risk?
to haven't been a problem this tonight.
Yeah, what is the risk for Blackfoot to air it out?
Well, at some point you have to, take your foot off the gas.
I don't know. I kind of think after their travails of the last season and everything, this Blackfoot team may want to just keep their foot on the gas all season long. Capson's doing just that. He just puts his head down, barrels right forward through a tiring Emmett defensive line, picks up about 7-8 yards. We'll take it inside the 25 to the 24. The clock now will be moving inside 4 minutes.
Yeah, and that could be the reason we're seeing Capson take the snap so much, giving Ramirez more of a break and letting Capson get those extra handles in a game that they're clearly ahead in.
You never know what goes through the minds of high school coaches. Almost as mysterious as what goes through the minds of high school players.
Oh, don't get that started.
Oh, youth. Capson, I think he can be just a little short. He tried to leap from about the 26. He'll get to about the 24, needs to get to the inside the 23. So it'll be third down coming up. That the clock continues to run. We're down under 3.5. Back to inside 3:20. They can take this down to inside 3 minutes before the snap. And you can just see that right now. That is the strategy that Coach Ackley and his quarterback are discussing on the sideline as Grimmett now comes back into the huddle. King staying out in his realm on the far side, but
King really seems to just kind of live in his own world.
Well, he's certainly established his own here tonight. And handoff inside, and Capson will have the first down. He'll get it to the 21-yard line with a 2:40 to go and the clock running. And I'm not even sure how many times. I think Emmett has their full complement of timeouts, but if you aren't getting a stop, it's almost like, why?
Yeah.
You got to use it for an opportunity, and they need it for an offense, and they need 2 scores. So
the goal at this point is really to hold this Blackfoot defense to a field goal and keep it within
or
the realm,
just have the clock run out while them still on the field.
Yeah.
With no additional score possibly. Blackfoot has looked very impressive here tonight. What we expected for a very veteran team. They've looked like a veteran team. They've executed like one.
Keeper.
Grimmett is going to roll it out to the right side, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at about the 16-yard line. So pick up of another 5 yards. And with 2 minutes exactly to go, the clock will actually stop for the first time in almost 4 minutes. And this one because he went out of bounds. So it'll be 2nd and 6 coming up for Blackfoot with exactly 2 minutes to go. Huskies didn't have to use a timeout to stop the clock.
Yeah, Blackfoot, I mean,
they're still taking their time.
Right. I mean, you're seeing the veteran side of this team come out. They know they've got the lead. They know they've got the time. There's no reason to really push for another score. They're just happy running the clock and doing their thing. And that's really the sign of a veteran team. They know what they need to win the game and no need to go any farther.
Well, they're certainly issuing the statement to the press and the coaches who gave them high regard this year that they deserve it. And they're starting the year strong. They're firing to King in the corner, and surely he did not come up with it, did he?
He did. He holds it down again.
King in the corner pocket. How in the world he came down with that?
At this point, I'm not even shocked. He's consistently won that outside battle all night long.
And give Grimmett credit for throwing a pass that no one else can get. It's on the outside corner, 16 yards. King's 5th touchdown reception of the night. That is Grimmett's 6th touchdown pass of the night. Let's see if the 7th extra point attempt here from Josiah is good, and he gets it through despite pressure. And the score is now 49-32 in favor of Blackfoot with 1:52 to go. And Blackfoot simply used the old boxing, keep hitting in the belly, then come with the haymaker, and the haymaker is named Javante King.
Wow, and I think the real testament of this story is not only that King was scoring and Grimmett, seems to be unstoppable. I think the thing to take away from this game is that Blackfoot didn't punt a single time tonight.
No.
They have secured scores on every single drive.
With the exception of the very first, when they turned it over on downs, they drove into Emmett territory, turned it over on downs at the 30-yard line. And other than that, they have scored on each and every possession. And they've done it with some spectacular plays, but not like with field burning plays. They've just picked and picked and picked. And when it looked like they maybe were at a 3rd and long or something, they've come up with a big catch and a big play. And, of course, King has been a big factor in all that. Statistically, he'll look like he was doing this all by himself tonight, but there was certainly a lot of help from some of his teammates.
Yeah, and to be said, the Huskies have not looked bad tonight. They've put up a good game, and they've played well. It's just Blackfoot has been as close to perfect as you can be for a high school football team.
Well, certainly Javante King and Deegan Hale touted as probably 2 of the best wide receivers, not only in the 4A ranks, but possibly in the state at all ranks. And they've shown it here tonight, even King throwing a pass to Hale. So King's 1 for 1 passing the ball for about 45 yards. I don't know what his yardage is in receiving, but we know he's caught 6 of them for touchdowns.
Right. Well, so the kickoff going out of bounds, I don't think this was actually a mistake. I think this was actually purposeful, them just taking the penalty and, keeping the chance of a return from happening.
A big kick return here. I mean, it's not going to make that. You're up 17 points at this point, but that's the one thing that could still give some life. Now we can fight it out on the field and go for it, and let's see what the Huskies do as they have nobody in the backfield, 5 receivers split out. So I assume that means Dakota Perry is going to be running for his life. He fires it out to the near side, going to be short. He had Brennan out there, but defensively, and he had a little bit of space, but the pass just a little bit too soft.
Yep.
A little more zip. He might have been able to get the right back shoulder and get him to turn upfield. Minute 47 to go. Blackfoot with a 49-32 lead over Emmett. And the one question we've asked tonight of Emmett is the question we're going to ask to everybody that Blackfoot plays this year is, do you have the size and athleticism to match up with King and Hale? Perry holds on, now goes back cross court to Joe Loomis. Loomis breaks the tackle to the 50, inside the 45, down to the 42-yard line. Perry just simply kind of being the decoy, goes to the left side all by himself. All of a sudden there's white shirts all over him and all kinds of blue shirts on the other side of the field to fire to.
We call that the matador. Just let the bulls come for you, wait and wait and wait, and then throw it over their heads.
And hope you don't get stuck by the Toro. Perry rolls to the right. And he starts to fire downfield, but as he does, he's wrapped up, and let's see if they're going to call that an incomplete. I don't think it was really intentional grounding. He had someone further downfield that he was trying to get it kind of with a sidearm throw. But I don't see any flags, so apparently not. We have a minute 18 to go. It is
Trayden Henderson there getting in the backfield, and I think he hit him right as he threw it.
But the marker shows it first down, and it should be second down.
Yeah, that's a mismark. It is second down.
Second down, incomplete pass. Perry firing deep, going up. This one's going to get picked off. He was going deep for Brennan, and coming up with it, who else? Deegan Hale. He didn't get as many offensive receptions as he wanted, so he now picks up one from the opposite side of the field. And that puts the ice on this one, I'm sure. With a minute 5 to go, look for the knee to come out for quarterback Grimmett, or maybe even a reserve coming in at this point. But Deegan Hale with a big defensive stop puts an end to that one. First turnover of the ball game.
Yeah, and that comes at the end of the game. And I think the biggest statement there is he had his receiver open downfield, just didn't quite have the muscle to get it all the way down to him. And Hale with the short pass, just easy to cherry pick.
Yeah, well, there were 2 defenders on Brendan, and they were both in front. And sometimes that's it. You challenge that quarterback to throw it 50 yards in the air. He was outside of his own 40, and it was picked off at the 10. Yes, that is a knee going to be taken by Grimmett.
They will have to knee it one more time.
And that should
be the game.
Take care of it. This football game has been brought to you in part by sponsors at both locations in eastern Idaho and here in southwestern Idaho. Among those making this possible for the broadcast at IdahoSports.com, Mountain West Building Supply, located just a couple miles west of the city of Emmett. They've got every kind of supply you can imagine. And they can supply whether you're a contractor or a do-it-yourselfer. They will always come up with what you need, and you can find it right there on the shelves at Mountain West Building Supply. And that is going to be it. The clock has still got 17 seconds to go, but the teams are leaving the field, and it appears at this point the Blackfoot Broncos are trying to get back not only to the state championships in the tournament for the 4th straight year, but they're trying to be where they were 3 years ago when they made the finals. And they have certainly put a mark on their season to start this one off with a 49-32 victory over the Emmett Huskies.
Yeah, a great win for Blackfoot today. Definitely starting this season with an exclamation point, because this Husky offense is not bad. This is not a bad Huskies team. They played really well, really solid. Didn't make, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure didn't make any offensive penalties.
Nope.
So played a perfect game, just getting outclassed by the bigger, older, more experienced Blackfoot.
And particularly those two wide receivers, Deegan Hale and Javante King. We'll be back to talk about those and name our IdahoSports.com player of the game after this word from our sponsors.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.
We are back at Emmett Husky Field in Emmett, where the Blackfoot Broncos have taken the field for the 2022 season, and they have stormed this field and shown why they are considered one of the favorites to be challenging for the 4A state championship this year after being stopped on their opening possession deep in Emmett territory on 4 downs. They were never stopped again the rest of the night.
It didn't look back the rest of the game. They once they got the ball rolling, they didn't let it stop.
Well, they certainly didn't let it stop, and they roll out to a 49-32 win over Emmett. Emmett with a much younger team, a lot of new players in positions, but a very clean ball game for the first game of the season by both of these squads.
Yeah, though the score is pretty separated, it honestly was a lot closer game than the score reads. Emmett played a great game, did a fantastic job on offense, just couldn't find an answer for that big Blackfoot defense. As you said, Hale getting multiple receptions. Grimmett had a game of a lifetime with 6 touchdowns passing and 1 running touchdown. That being said, there's only one answer for our IdahoSports.com player of the game. It's got to be Javante King.
Javante King with 5 touchdown receptions. He had a long pass completion to Deegan Hale that nearly could have been a touchdown thrown from him. But he was just absent. And the catches that he made, one-handed in the end zone, 2 of those were at the back pylon or in traffic with 3 men in front of him, and how he even was able to hold onto the ball. Obviously, very strong hands. He had a very strong pass coming from his quarterback, Grimmett, who had an outstanding night tonight. We don't have official statistics. He didn't have very many incomplete passes. His completion ratio is high. We don't have the total yardage, but Blackfoot able to drive the field, and every time it appeared that Emmett had them maybe where they wanted on a 3rd and long or an opportunity to possibly get a stop, they came up with a big play. Often it was, again, a pass to Hale or to Grimmett, or a run as we moved down the end by Capson coming up with some big runs as he came in at that position. And Blackfoot just doing an extremely good job. And like I said, I'm going to have to break down and find some physical numbers, because King actually looks 3-4 inches taller than any of the defenders that the Huskies had. And not only that, but he gets up, and he gets up high, and he's got great hands. They showed that a number of times tonight. And so he is our player of the game, and it was a tough one, because when you have a quarterback that throws for 6 touchdowns and runs for a 7th, how do you ignore that? But we don't get co-offense. We don't get co-players of the game. We've been told that's a no-no. So Jackson, Grimmett, tremendous night.
Yeah, a wonderful play from the senior. And as you said, all of these seniors playing their last season here at Blackfoot, and starting it off right, looking like they're going to be a contender.
For Blackfoot, they now have the Madison Bobcats in their sights. That's next week, back in eastern Idaho. For the Emmett Huskies, they will be going over just across the county line here into Payette County to face Fruitland on the Grizzlies' home field next week. We will not be on the air next Friday night with the Fruitland-Emmett football game. We will be turning to the air for our Emmett listeners 2 weeks from tonight, when we're actually 2 weeks from this afternoon, because we're going to be in Baker, Oregon for a 4 o'clock Pacific time kickoff, so 5 o'clock here in the Valley, when they'll be taking on Lake City, a 5A school from up at Coeur d'Alene, and they'll be meeting at Baker High School in that ball game. So it should be a great opportunity, and the Huskies want to bounce back. Coach Hargett said before the season began tonight that he really felt his team needed to go 3-1 in the first 4 games and 3-1 in the second 4 games, or 6-2 overall, to make sure that he's got a home berth in the first round of the playoffs. So all of a sudden now the onus on, he needs to put together a 3-game win streak, because he's got Fruitland and Lake City and then Skyview as we open the season here at home against Skyview as far as the conference season is concerned. So it's amazing how short these seasons are. It was a great start to the night for Blackfoot. It was a solid start tonight for Emmett too. Give them credit. They came out, they played well, they executed, they did not commit mistakes. They did a lot of things absolutely well. They just mismatched at a couple of the spots, and it turned to be the Tide. And the Tide rolls with the Broncos here tonight. Blackfoot winning it 49-32 over the Emmett Huskies. For IdahoSports.com, this is Del Gray and Chandler Gray, thanking you for joining us. This broadcast has been brought to you by a number of sponsors from throughout the state, including Project Filter, Valleywide Cooperative, the Idaho Transportation Department, the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare, Next Steps Idaho, and your local Toyota dealers, as well as local sponsors here, Gem Supply Co-op, Mountain West Building Supply, and Hannigan Motors of Emmett, and also by Lava Hot Springs. Let's see. Yes, Lava Hot Springs, Conquest Insurance Agency, and Cushman Drilling and Pump in Blackfoot. All of the local sponsors helping out. And, of course, our Treasure Valley night sponsor, Mountain West Bank, and our East Idaho game night sponsors in Teton Auto Group and DL Evans Bank. I want to thank our athletic director here this evening, Ashley Holt, thanking her here at Emmett, hosting us. For folks who are here in the Emmett area, we have brand new press box. We're still up on top of it, but we're way up from where we used to be and much more secure. And it's been a great contribution to the program here that private donations funded this entire thing as they They developed a really unique press box that's stacked 3 railroad cars on top of each other and has a very unique sense, but it's going to be a great addition, and it certainly gave us a great view of the field up here tonight. So we want to thank all the local sponsors here in Emmett who made this possible, and we're glad to be back with IdahoSports.com and the Emmett Huskies.
I was going to say, it feels good to be back, Del.
It's been a couple of seasons, and for the Blackfoot folks, I'm sure you guys will be following your team continuously. It looks like they're going to have most of the rest of their season right there in eastern Idaho, so a great start when they make the road trip to come up with this big 17-point win here tonight against the Emmett Huskies. The final again, Blackfoot 49, Emmett 32. Good night, everybody.
High school sports teams are known for their unity. No matter what's happening on the field, they stick together. Players, coaches, students, parents. One big family. That's why Mountain West Bank is so proud to sponsor Idaho high school sports. Today, tomorrow, together.
Some days, I choose the most difficult trail. I test my limits.
Taking the hard path isn't always easy, but I know it's the right way.
When I get done with my ride and I look back at what I've just accomplished, I feel amazing.
It takes courage and determination to do hard things.
But you can do them.
Quitting tobacco and vaping is possible.
You decide when. We'll show you how. Learn more at projectfilter.org or call 1-800-QUIT-NOW.
You can't make summer stand still, so make the most of every last second with a new Toyota at Toyota's National Sales Event.
During Toyota's National Sales Event, discover our wide variety of fuel-efficient electrified vehicles. Toyota, let's go places.
We're a valley-wide country store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're valley-wide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow. We're here for you.
Vaping sucks you in quick, and the more you vape, the harder it is to quit. Not to mention all the chemicals and health problems. That's why thousands of teens are joining My Life, My Quit. Visit mylifemyquit.com or text Start My Quit to 36072.
Because you already give them something money can't buy. We'll help with everything else, no matter what life holds. Mountain West Bank. Today, tomorrow, together.